Welcome back again to Salt Lake City. Let's check the starting lineup for the visiting Las Vegas 51s. Leading off in center field, Calvin Murray. Batting second, the second baseman, Joe Thurston. Hitting third, the designated hitter today, Bubba Crosby. Larry Barnes, it's cleanup. He's the first baseman. Batting fifth, in right field, Chad Hermanson. Hitting sixth, in left field, Chin Fang Chen. In the seventh spot is the shortstop, Chris Kwapinski. Batting eighth at third base is Ricky Bell. And batting ninth and catching will be Ryan Kellner. Masao Kita will be the pitcher today for the Las Vegas 51s. Now for the home team, Salt Lake Stingers. They will have their lineup for you as soon as they come to the plate. But now the Stingers are in the field. And right-hander Steve Green is warming up with his catcher for today. That's Trent Durrington. We'll step aside for a 60-second break and come back with the first pitch of today's game from Salt Lake City right after this.
Dave, is that the $6 burger you got going there?
Yeah, from Carl's Jr.
Sweet. What's that green stuff, man?
Guacamole.
Oh, guacamole. All right.
Yeah, it's the guacamole bacon $6 burger.
Cool, man. So right now you're taking a little guac on the wild side.
What?
Are you eating that thing like, guac, stock, and barrel?
And
Guac on, Dave. Guac on,
oh, okay, I get it. Guacamole. Funny word.
It is.
Okay, let's acknowledge and move on.
Hey.
Okay,
No.
thank you.
Done. Holy moly, guacamole.
Ed.
Dude, is this like burger totally guacing your world or what?
Ed.
All right, really quick. What do you say to a doctor when you give him guacamole?
I don't.
Guac.
Ed, stop. Okay, you're bugging me, all right? I'm just trying to eat my burger.
Have a lunch.
Thank you.
Go.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
All right. So what you're saying is you want me to guac it off?
Oh,
yeah. What's that?
Introducing the guacamole bacon $6 burger at Carl's Jr. The only restaurant-style burger available at a fast food place. For a limited time only, price and participation may vary.
Okay, we're set for the start of this one. Calvin Murray stepping into the batter's box. Wilkin Ruan has a bit of a leg stiffness, so that's what caused him to leave last night's game a little early. And so Calvin Murray opens this one up for the Las Vegas 51s. Murray batting .260 with 3 homers and 26 runs batted in. Facing right-hander Steve Green, who is 6'2", 190, 25 years old, from Quebec, Canada. Fastball is low, ball one, and we're underway. Murray went in to run for Ruan in the 7th inning last night when Ruan pulled up lame and ended up scoring a run on a base hit by Joe Thurston, that is. The pitch is a strike, 1-1. And Murray was 0 for 1 in his only at-bat against reliever Elio Soriano. The pitch as a drive in the shallow right center field. It falls in for a base hit. So Murray has the base hit, opening up this ball game on the 3rd pitch of the game. And the batter is going to be Joe Thurston. Let's look at the Salt Lake defensive alignment for you, shall we? At first base is Rob Quinlan. The second baseman is Sean Figgins. At short is Alfredo Ameziga. And the third baseman is Keith Johnson. Gary Johnson's in left. Barry Weston is in center. The right fielder is Jeff Guile. And Trent Durrington is catching for Steve Green. The setup today for the Salt Lake Stingers. Thurston steps in the batter's box. We thank Joe for being our pregame guest. He had 2 swinging singles and a drag bunt single. He looks to bunt, takes a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. So Thurston now hitting .275 with 4 homers and 31 runs batted in, 9 hits in his last 16 at-bats. Very hot hitter. 3 hits yesterday and 4 hits the day before when the team was in Edmonton. 0-1 the count. Murray takes his lead off first base. Green from the stretch delivers. Thurston takes a fastball just low. Good-looking pitch, but he just missed with it. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Thurston at the plate. Murray, the runner at first, does have 9 steals and has only been called once. Great ratio there. As Steve Green checks signs with Durrington. Third baseman Keith Johnson is at the bag. There's a throw to first. It gets away from Quinlan. Racing around second for Murray. He will stop, and he goes back to second base. An errant pickoff try by Green. It got away from Quinlan. Quinlan was racing into foul ground to the rolled-up tarpaulin not far from the home plate area of the Salt Lake bullpen right field side to get the ball. Murray raced to second base. Had a thought of going to third, but thought better of it with nobody out. And so he stays at second base. And the count to Thurston is 1 ball and 1 strike. The stretch by Green in the pitch. Thurston squares to bunt, takes a fastball outside, ball 2. 2-1. Frank Coughlin calling balls and strikes today. The first base ump is Brian Knight, and the third base Mark Winters, who was behind the plate yesterday. Green, 6 wins, 2 losses, a 3.71 earned run average. Coming to the plate with a 2-1 pitch to Thurston. Fastball is outside. It's 3-1. Green has logged 68 innings on the year. So he's not going deep into games. And before the game today, manager Mike Grumley was kind of lamenting that about how Green is not going past the 5th inning very often at all. putting an extra load on the bullpen. 3-1 pitch. Thurston takes a strike. He had tossed the bat away and it headed up the first baseline. And Frank Coughlin, a late strike call on a borderline pitch near the outside corner toward the knees. Thurston shaking his head and saying something to Coughlin before he gets back in the box again. The count is full. And some of the fans here giving Thurston the business. Of course, here in Salt Lake, fans tend to be a little more gentle. Murray at second base with nobody out. 3-2 to count on Joe Thurston. Green from a stretch, and the payoff pitch is coming. That's a ground ball to short, but there's a Mezzica. He looks at third, throws to first base in time to get Thurston. Murray, on a play like that, it's one of those in-between type plays where sometimes it's a good idea to take off and sometimes not. Because the ball was hit behind him, closer to second base, Murray figured it was worth the risk. A Mezzica cranked it up, and it looked like he wanted to throw to third base, but he thought better of it, wanted to get the sure out, so instead he went to first and got Thurston. And on the play, Murray takes third. One out in the batter's ball to Crosby. If that ball is hit in front of Murray, he stays put at second, most likely. So Crosby with an RBI chance here. No score in the top of the first. And Green delivers. Fastball to strike at the knees, 0-1. Crosby hitting .405 with 6 homers and 40 runs batted in. And in the ball game yesterday, he had a 2-run triple as part of the 5-run fourth inning that got the 51's offense jump-started. He was 1 for 4, plus a walk, and those 2 big RBIs. The 0-1 pitch to him from Green. Breaking ball up and away. It is now 1-1. Green making his 14th appearance. They've all been starts. Does not have a complete game or really anything close to it. He's allowed 63 hits in 68 innings, so the league is batting just .251 against him. Not too bad for a starter. Walk to strikeout ratio is not good, though. 1-1 pitch is a little low and inside, 2-1. He's walked 32 while striking out 41. That's too many walks. That's almost 4.5 walks per 9 innings. Done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's only 3 home runs this year. 2 balls and a strike to Crosby, the DH. Off third is Murray. Infield is back at regular depth, and the fastball's just outside. It's 3-1. And Crosby backs out of the box with Larry Barnes on deck. Some sunshine trying to fight its way through the clouds now. As his field is brightening up a little bit. 3 balls and a strike to Bubba Crosby. Green peers in at Durrington, checking signs. The stretch and the 3-1 pitch. Fastball is outside, ball 4. So Crosby draws the first walk issued by Green. Green, by the way, has had control trouble, especially of late. In his last 4 starts, he's walked 16 batters. That's plenty. Especially when you're only averaging 5 innings or so per start. That's a lot of walks. Here's Barnes. That does set up a chance for a double play. That walk right there. And Barnes getting set to hit. Barnes batting .271. Powerfully built left-handed batter. Leads the team by far with 13 home runs. And has 54 RBIs to lead the club as well. Murray at third. Crosby at first. The stretch in the pitch. Fastball is just outside. Ball 1. 1-0. Barnes 1 for 5 yesterday with a 7th inning RBI double off reliever Derek Turnbow. He also stole a base in the game, reaching on a fielder's choice, and scored a run. 1 ball to no strikes. Barnes facing his old teammate who was with Salt Lake last year. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike on the outside. Good sinking fastball. A 4-seamer just above the knees toward the outside corner. 1-1 the count to Barnes. John Shoemaker, the skipper, pacing up and down in the third base coaching box, watching from there George Hendrick, the first base coach. Murray stands off third and a throw to first base, driving Crosby back to the bag. Crosby has 6 steals without being caught. 1 ball to 1 strike to count to Larry Barnes. Some folks still trickling in here at Franklin Covey Field today. And here comes the 1-1 from Steve Green. Fastball high and away. So he's been behind every hitter. And the count is 2 balls and a strike on Barnes. Chad Hermanson waits in the on-deck area. Murray with his right hand on his hip, walking away from the bag at third base. Nodding yes to something that Shoemaker says to him. Crosby off first. 2-1 pitch. That's a called strike near the outside corner, a borderline pitch. He kept trying to hit the outside corner. He finally got it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Larry Barnes. Good to see Frank Coughlin up and around. He played umpire today. He got really hit hard on a Joe Thurston 1-hopper in foul territory last night, and it got him in a bad place below the waist. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Barnes reaches out and fouls him off to the left back out of play. It's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Wilkin Ruan taking the day off. He should be ready to go in a day or 2, they say. And 51s give Coy Hill the day off, and Ryan Kellner gets a game in. And Eric Riggs also gets a day off. First and third with one out, the 2-2 stretch. And Green steps off and looks at first base. Crosby back to the bag, being held on by Quinlan. Green taking his time now. He's the winningest pitcher on the staff, and he's trying to become a 7-game winner. Nobody else on the staff has won more than 4 games for Salt Lake. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Barnes. Green is set, and he now turns and throws to first base, and Crosby back in there. Barnes very good in the clutch, hitting way over 300 with men in scoring position, and standing in there right now with that patented wide open stance from the left side. 2-2 pitch. A called third strike on the inside corner. It looked like a cutter. Good pitch. He'd been working Barnes away, and Barnes probably not expecting that pitch, or at least not in that location. That's a good pitch. First strikeout for Green. Runners at the corners with 2 outs, and the batter's Chad Hermanson. Hermanson had a good opener last night with 2 for 5, a double and a home run, and he hit a ball that was caught in the deepest part of the ballpark by Julio Ramirez playing center field, right in front of the 420 sign. The ball hit at least 415 feet for an out. He hit that ball farther than he hit his home run. The stretch and the pitch to Hermanson. He swings, sends a fly ball to right. Guile backing up for it. He's there, and Hermanson, who began the day at 387, skies out to right. That finishes the inning. For Las Vegas in the first, they put runners at the corners with 1 out and cannot score. No runs, they hit 1 error and 2 left. And at the end of half inning of play, Las Vegas nothing, and Salt Lake against Masao Kita coming up.
Oh, entertainment is incredibly important to people.
Oh, yeah, I have Cox cable service and they the bomb.
I do have cable at home, and I'm your typical channel surfer.
I like flipping. I go from one thing to the next.
I love action-type movies. I like comedy.
I love cartoons myself.
Entertainment takes me away. It takes me away to a place that I can't get to on a normal basis.
Cable service is entertainment. It provides movies, it provides sports information, it provides news, it provides a lot of information that most folks can use in their daily life.
It's like a little dog wagging its tail. He's all happy to see you. Cable is just like that, and I just can't stop watching.
We'll get everyone that's interested in cable into cable services at a price that is just unbelievable.
I'm Peter Chapman.
My name's Andrew Butler.
I'm Jennifer Dugan.
Mine's Derek Sharp.
My name is Harry. We are Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
51's baseball and the Jungle. Jim Rome, weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1460.
I've spent the last 2 days in the region commonly known as Gummy. This is a strange and magnificent world full of dazzling, multicolored worms and miniature bears who live together in small packs. The spirit of the gummy will stay with me forever.
Make your own discovery at AM PM, where our crispier than ever corn dogs are 2 for 99 cents. AM PM, too much good stuff.
At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices may vary.
Welcome back to Salt Lake. The Stingers lineup looks like this. Leading off at second base is Sean Figgins. Batting second, the shortstop Alfredo Amezaga. Hitting third, the Salt Lake first baseman Rob Quinlan. The cleanup man is catcher Trent Durrington. Batting fifth, the designated hitter today for Salt Lake, Adam Riggs. In the 6th spot, left fielder Gary Johnson. Batting 7th in center field, Barry Wesson. In the 8th spot, right fielder Jeff Guile. And batting 9th at third base, Keith Johnson. Steve Green in the mound, of course, for Salt Lake, and Masao Kita, the 6'3", 210-pound righty from Tokyo, 34 years old, taking on Figgins, the very fast switch-hitting second baseman. And the pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 to Figgins. Sean Figgins, one of the fastest men in the league. He and Wilkin Ruan and Bernie Castro of Portland, Tyke Redmond of Nashville. There's a fastball just inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Those are the primary speed merchants in this league this year. Figgins hitting .306 with 2 homers and 25 runs batted in. After yesterday, where he was 1 for 5 with a double. When a run scored, here's the pitch. He checks the swing, takes the fastball a little low. They appeal. No swing, says third base umpire Mark Wenders, and it did look like he held up. 2 balls and a strike to Figgins. Sean Figgins spells it C-H-O-N-E. It looks like Chone, but it's pronounced Sean. 5'8", 160. From Florida. Here's the 2-1 pitch to him from Kita. Line drive hit to right. Hermanson backing up. It's over his head, off the wall on 1 hop. Hermanson gloves, turns, and fires it in. Figgins in his second base with a stand-up double. One of the things to look for in this game is how far Masao Kita can last. Because the Las Vegas bullpen is not in great shape right now. They have a couple of guys who could go today. But this is a team that would really like for that that off day on Wednesday can't come too soon for them. Here's Alfredo Amezaga, the switch hitting shortstop. No score, bottom of the first. That's the first hit of the game for Salt Lake. Of course, line drive fair. Inside first pass, Barnes to the corner, being chased by Hermanson. In to score is Figgins. Amezaga goes to second base. Back-to-back stand-up doubles, and Salt Lake leads 1-0. And the batter's first baseman, Rob Quinlan. So doubles by Figgins and Amezaga. Amezaga began the game at 344, one of the league's top hitters. That's his 14th double, his 32nd RBI. And here's Quinlan, who leads the team in RBIs. Big right-handed batter. Kita looks back at Amezaga and delivers. Breaking ball low and away, blocked by Kellner. Ball 1-0. Quinlan hitting 320, 3 homers, 47 RBIs. The power numbers, at least the home runs, are way down from last year, when he was the league's MVP, hitting 20 homers, driving in 112 runs. Amezaga off second base. Kita checks in and delivers. 1-0 breaking ball, same thing. Low and away, and Kellner has to make a sliding save on it. It's 2-0. Quinlan, playing last night's game, was 0 for 5. He did reach on a fielder's choice and scored a run. 2-0. The pitch. Fastball low and inside, and it's now 3-0. So Kita having a lot of trouble getting going here. Kita spent some time on the disabled list with a leg problem, hamstring problem. Well, he's good to go here, and he's having some first inning trouble. 3-0 pitches to strike. It's 3-1. Back-to-back doubles by Figgins and Amezaga, and now he's behind a good hitter, Rob Quinlan, with a count of 3-1. 51s really need Kita to go at minimum 5 innings, the way the bullpen is today. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Quinlan. He swings and misses at a pitch that might have been ball 4 down and in, and the count is now full. Kita did pitch 2 innings in Edmonton 5 days ago. That was Tuesday. And he looked good. He went 2 innings along, no runs on 2 hits, no walks and 2 strikeouts. This is only his 3rd appearance since coming off the disabled list. 3-2 pitch is a call, 3rd strike in the outside corner. Good pitch. A fastball got Quinlan looking. Quinlan was going to first base. And Frank Coughlin said, "You're going the wrong way, partner." 1 out, and here's Trent Durrington. Kita's longest outing of this year. Back on May 11th at home, he went 4 2/3 in a relief appearance against Tucson. That was his longest relief appearance. He did make 1 5-inning start. His first appearance in a Vegas uniform back on May 3rd in Nashville, when he got his only win. So Kita made 3 good appearances for Vegas. That was 1-0 with an ERA under 1. The pitch is in the dirt. Blocked by Kellner. Going to third base is Amezaga to throw. He is out at third base. 51s get a break and a strong throw by Kellner. The pitch was in the dirt, but only a couple of feet to the right of the plate. Amezaga saw the ball loose and took off. And Kellner pounced on it and threw a strike to Bell, who reached back as he went into a slide and tagged the sliding Amezaga. Amezaga is out 2-5. It's not a caught stealing, it's just a fielder's choice. 2 outs. And the count is 1-0 on Trent Durrington, who's batting .302 with 3 homers and 27 RBIs. He's from Australia, from the Gold Coast. He swings and grounds when foul. Outside third, it's 1-1. So it is 1-0 Salt Lake, but the 51s get a break there. Nice throw by Ryan Kellner. As Amezaga a little bit too aggressive. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the cleanup man, Trent Durrington. Durrington last night 2 for 5 with a single and double and a run batted in. 1-1 pitch. He chases a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Masao Kita's fastball is up there 89, 90, 91 miles an hour on average, in that range. And he's got a slider, and his best pitch, his out pitch, is the splitter, which he will often go to with 2 strikes. See if he throws it here. 1-2 to Durrington. The stretch and the pitch. Splitter, swung on and missed, strike 3. He threw it in the dirt. Durrington chased it. Ryan Kellner tagged him out to be sure. 2 strikeouts for Kita in the first. The Stingers do get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and no one left. And at the end of 1, Salt Lake won, and the 51's nothing.
If music was black and white, what would it sound like? But add a little color to it and you can hear and see the difference. let's apply this to, say, advertising. Classified advertising. What does your ad sound like? This? Or this? See, adding a little color can make your RJ Sun classified ad really sing out. For just a little more, we'll add some real color to your ad. You will see and hear the difference. Call 383-0383. Expect more, get more out of your classified ad.
Call 383-0383 to place your RJ Sun classified ad. 383-0383.
51's Baseball and Tim Brando at noon weekdays on Sports Radio 1460.
Get more when you play. Get more in every way at Jerry's Nugget Casino. Cash your paycheck at Jerry's Nugget and you could win $1 million. Every spin is guaranteed to win great prizes like a new car, a new truck, loads of cash, and much, much more. Cash your paycheck at Jerry's Nugget and win. Jerry's Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas 51. Jerry's Nugget Casino. Just minutes from Cashman Field on Las Vegas Boulevard.
At the end of one, Salt Lake leading 1-0. Vegas threatened in the first. They had runners at the corners with one out, but Steve Green struck out Larry Barnes looking, and he got Chad Hermanson the fly out to right to complete the inning. And then the Stingers got a quick run on the doubles back-to-back by Sean Figgins and Alfredo Amezaga off Masao Kita. Top of the second, 1-0. Salt Lake on top, and Shin Fen Chen leads it off against Green. It's Chen, Klopinski, and Bell, 6, 7, and 8 in the Vegas order. And Steve Green going back to work here in the top of the second now. The pitch. Chen takes a fast strike on the outside. It is 0-1. Chen batting .291 with 8 homers and 40 runs batted in. He was 0 for 4 yesterday, striking out 3 times. He also walked once and scored a run. Fastball to tie. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. Chen been very streaky in the last week or so. He finished the homestand in very strong fashion against Tacoma and was hitting Edmonton really hard. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball to strike on the outside. It's 1-2. And all of a sudden, Chen, who at one point hit home runs in a home run in 3 straight games, went cold again. Here's the 1-2 windup by Green in the pitch to Chen. Fastball is inside. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chen, who steps out. So Chen has struck out 6 times in the last 2 games, failing to put the ball in play except for the fly out to shallow center in the ninth yesterday. He swings and fouls him back, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Chen was a little bit like this last year when he had a very good season for Vegas overall, a .284 average and 26 homers and 84 RBIs, but the streakiness has been rather extreme this year. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Green checks Darrington. Nods yes. To the motion he goes. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball low and outside. It's full now to Chen, who steps out wearing number 50 in the back of his Dodger blue road top. The name and the numerals in back of the jersey in bright white. Here's the 3-2 pitch. As a liner foul upstairs to the right. And out of play, it's still 3-2. Salt Lake uniforms. The red tops, white lettering in the back, white numerals, white pants with the red stripes on the side, and the red stockings. The cherry red bill of the cap, and the jet black cap itself. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Chen. And the pitch. A drive hit to left field. Johnson going back. Now he reaches and he falls down and the ball gets by him. Chen goes to second base and cruises in at second base. Then Johnson fires it back in. Johnson was in trouble right away on that ball. He turned the wrong way, then lunged and slipped and fell. And Chen stands at second base. The batter is Chris Klopinski. Klopinski, the shortstop, will step in with Chen at second base and nobody out. And Chen has a double, a well-hit ball to left field. And Johnson looked like he did misplay it, but that ball was hit several feet to his left, and so Chen gets a hit on it, the second hit for Vegas. And Klopinski in the box, the pitch. He swings at a fastball, fouls it back, strike 1. 0-1. Klopinski at .299. 7 homers and 33 runs batted in. He took last night off after the long travel day. And the count to him is 0-1. First pitch fastball from Green. Klopinski had a good swing at it. And he was on the pitch, as they say, but he fouled it straight back. Chen takes his lead off second. And Green is set to work. Here's the 0-1 to Klopinski. He hits a ground ball up the middle into center field for a base hit. Chen being waved in. He's coming around third base. He'll score as Weston gets it back in. And the game is tied at 1 in the top of the second on a base hit up the middle by Chris Klopinski. So Klopinski's back over 300 with that base hit. And the batter's third baseman, Rick Bell. By the way, for Chen, that was his 19th double. And for Klopinski, his 34th RBI. And here is Rick Bell, who steps in at 254 with a home run, 18 runs batted in. Bell 1 for 3 yesterday with a 2-run double as part of the 5-run fourth. Fastball is a little high, ball 1. 1 ball to no strikes. Steve Green, in search of his 7th win, standing up top. And he's checking Durrington. Now he looks over his shoulder to see where Klopinski is. And Green from the stretch position. A 1-1 game here in the top of the second. Here's the pitch. Foul ball off to the right. That's back in the luxury box. The young lady there backing away from the ball as it came into the section where she's sitting, and she picks it up and hands it to a young man, maybe a little brother. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Green's last start was against Sacramento, in Sacramento, and that was on Tuesday night. He had no decision, going 5 innings, allowing 3 runs earned on 3 hits. He walked 4, striking out 2. 1-1 pitch. Bell hits a chopper to second base. Figgins has it. He will tag Klopinski, and then that's all they're going to get. A chopper, and Figgins charged the ball. Klopinski stopped running, which is the smart thing to do with the play in front of him in a situation like that. Then he fell to the ground, making it as difficult as possible for Figgins to get the double play. Now, in some cases, the second baseman will throw to first to get the batter runner, and then they'll have that runner between first and second trapped. But he tagged Klopinski, and then by the time he did that, he could not get the throw to first to get Bell, who goes on a ball hit to the second baseman, Figgins, who has nobody to throw it to. So Ryan Kellner safe at first, and safe at second base is Rick Bell. A hit-and-run ground ball to the right side. Quinlan couldn't get it with Bell on the move. Figgins got it, but he had nobody to throw it to. Steve Green didn't cover, and so Green, a mental mistake there. 1 out in the inning, and there easily could have been 2 outs. In fact, there could have been a double play, and the ball that Bell hit. Durrington goes out to visit with Steve Green. So Bell was going in a tapper by Kellner. And Kellner is safe at first base, and they flash a hit on the board. I guess they're going to give Kellner an infield single on that. Green again failing to cover, and so Figgins had nobody to throw the ball to. So you have Bell at second, Kellner at first. And the batter is Calvin Murray. The pitch. Murray takes a fastball a little bit low, ball 1. Murray singled to center to open the game. Took second on an errant pickoff throw by Green and went to third on Thurston's ground out and was stranded there. After Crosby walked, Barnes struck out, and Hermanson flat out to finish the inning. Bell off second, Kellner off first. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Calvin Murray. There's a strike, and it's now 1-1. Murray at 264, 3 homers and 26 runs batted in. So Bell stands away from second, Kellner off first. Green gets set. Here's the 1-1 to Murray. Fastball is high and away, backhanded by Durrington. Ball 2. 2-1 to the former Giant and Texas Ranger Calvin Murray. Thurston watching intently from the on-deck area as Green stares into Durrington. Bell away from second, hands on his knees. Kellner, same position off first base. The 2-1 to Calvin Murray. Green brings it home. Fastball is low. He checked his swing, and the count is now 3-1 on Murray. So very nice position for Calvin Murray to be in now. 3-1 with 1 out and 2 men on. A couple of mental mistakes made by the Salt Lake infield. Otherwise, this inning easily could have been over. Or there at least could be 2 outs. 3-1 the count. The stretch and the pitch to Murray. Fastball is a strike on the outside part of the plate toward the knees. It is now a full count to Murray. Now we'll see if Shoemaker wants to send the runners. Bell is at second. Kellner's at first with 1 out. And Murray climbs back in with a full count. The outfield playing it straight away, medium depth. Green nods yes to Durrington. The stretch. And now he steps off and looks Bell back to second. Kellner still fairly close to the bag at first. 1-1 game in the top of the second. Green again ready. 3-2 stretch. The runners go. There's a line drive off the glove of a leaping Quinlan in the right field for a base hit. Bell scores. Kellner stops at second base, and Las Vegas leads it by a score 2-1. Nearly a great catch by Quinlan. And Murray gets a high fist from George Hendrick. He's now 2 for 2. Runners going, a line drive. Quinlan went way up in the air, stretching out that 6-foot 1-inch frame. Couldn't quite get it. It went off the end of his mitt into right for the base hit, scoring Bell. Kellner held at second base. So Vegas with 4 hits in the inning, 5 hits in the game. They now lead by a score of 2-1. And Green is going to go after Joe Thurston. Still only 1 out. Kellner at second and Murray at first. And for Calvin Murray, that's his 27th RBI on the season. The one man in the Vegas bullpen who certainly is available to go today is Augustin Montero. And if they use Montero, they're going to want to use him for at least 2 or 3 innings to save the rest of the bullpen if possible. We shall see how long Tita can go. The pitch, there's a drive to right center field, racing over is Weston and Guile. They won't get it. The ball bounces and goes all the way to the wall. Kellner scores. Murray right on his heels. He's going to score on a 2-run double by Thurston. Las Vegas has opened up a 4-1 lead in the top of the second. Thurston rips one up the alley in right center field. Kellner held it for a moment to see if it might be caught. It had no chance of being caught. It was right between Weston and Guile to the wall. Murray not far behind Kellner to score. So a 2-run double by our pregame guest, Joe Thurston, who continues to hit the ball hard. He had 4 hits 2 nights ago. He had 3 hits yesterday. And that is his 17th double, RBIs 32 and 33. He's at second base, still just 1 out. And here's Crosby. He takes a breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Durrington, ball 1. Crosby walked his first time off. The inning began with a chin double to left as Gary Johnson turned the wrong way on it, and the ball went past him to the wall. Klapinski single chin in. Then the fun really started. Bell hit a chopper to Figgins, who, if he'd thrown to Quinlan at first to get Bell, would have had Klapinski dead to rights between first and second, but elected to tag Klapinski as well. And he couldn't get the throw to first in time to get Bell. This is strike 1-1 to Crosby. So instead of a double play, they had Bell at first base and 1 out. Then Bell was going on a hit-and-run pitch to Kellner, who had a ground ball to the second baseman Figgins. Quinlan, the first baseman, had gone for the ball, leaving first base unoccupied. And Green, the pitcher, never covered and went for his infield hit. That was a mistake by the Salt Lake infield. It was Green failing to cover. Pitch is low to Crosby, 2-1. So that left Bell at second and Kellner at first. Murray, with the runners going on the 3-2 pitch, lined one off Quinlan's glove in the right, scoring Bell, getting Kellner to second. And Thurston ripped one up the alley in right center, knocking in Kellner and Murray. Here's the 2-1 to Crosby. He takes outside. It's now 3-1. Maybe a miscommunication there. Mezga, the shortstop, was coming over to the bag when the pitch came in. If Crosby hit a routine ground ball to short, the ball would have gotten through. The pitch was outside. 3-1. Thurston leads off second with 1 gone. Green gets set. The 3-1 to Crosby. He hits a high drive to deep right field. Going back is Guile. He's looking up. That ball is on its way, and that ball is history. A 2-run bomb for Bubba Crosby. Las Vegas leads it 6-1 in the top of the second inning. A 3-1 fastball on a fastball count, and Crosby just lost it. That's his 7th homer, RBIs 41 and 42. That ball got beyond the grassy slope and hit near the concrete base right below where the scoreboard is. That's a long way from home plate. Crosby getting congratulated by Chad Hermanson. And at the dugout, Chris Klapinski is there. So is Corey Hill. And he gives him a high five, and now he disappears into the dugout. So it's a 6-run second inning for Las Vegas. And the batter's Larry Barnes, the 8th man to bat here. The pitch. Fastball is outside, ball 1. Barnes took a call, 3rd strike in the inside corner in the first. His first time up. Here's the 1-0 to Barnes. Breaking ball. He swings at a high pitch and fouls it back. It is now a ball and a strike. Where Steve Green doing a good job of keeping the ball in the park. That's just the 4th home run he's given up this year in less than just under 70 innings. There's still just 1 out in the inning. Vegas has scored 6 times. A 1-1 pitch to Barnes. Ground ball to second. He cracked his bat. Figgins has it. Throws to first to get Barnes, and there are 2 outs. And Hermanson, the 9th man to bat, will come up. Hermanson is 0 for 1. He flied out to right to finish up the first inning, leaving runners in the corners. Hermanson batting .387 when the game began, and again he's 0 for 1. 6 homers and 22 runs batted in. Hit the ball very hard 3 times yesterday. The double, a home run, and the 415-foot out to dead center. Breaking ball is low to Hermanson. Ball 1, 1-0. So Vegas putting together a 6-run inning. Thurston's 2-run double, Crosby's 2-run homer highlight the inning. The 1-0 pitch. As a soft liner out behind second base, bouncing into center field, base hit for Hermanson, who's 1 for 2. Weston brings it in, and Hermanson gets that soft single. He hit it off the handle and just fisted it out there. And here's Chen, who opened the inning with a double to left field as Gary Johnson turned the wrong way. A miserable inning, really, for Salt Lake. Green having trouble locating his pitches, but again, he made the mistake and the ball hit by Kellner, not covering first. And Figgins could not turn the double play. The ball hit by Bell, and Johnson turned the wrong way on Chen's ball, opening up the inning. There's the pitch to Chen. He takes a fast strike on the outside, 0-1. Hermanson at first base with 2 outs. Vegas has 7 hits in the inning and 6 runs and 8 hits in the game. There's the 0-1 to Chen. Breaking ball. He takes it high and inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Green appears to be leaving a lot of pitches up, and the breaking ball does not appear to have a lot of snap at all. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chen. Hermanson about a 3-step lead off first. The look by Green, and the 1-1 throw to first base, and Hermanson gets back in. Outfield pretty deep and straight away for Chin-Fang Chen, who's now hitting .293. The look by Green, and the 1-1 pitch to Chen. Fastball, a ground ball to first. Nice backhand pickup by Quinlan, who steps on the bag to complete the inning. Chen hit it hard, but Quinlan was there, and the inning is over. But Vegas sends 10 men to the plate, and they score 6 runs on 7 hits. No errors, and 1 man left. And at the end of an inning and a half, it is Las Vegas 6 and Salt Lake 1.
Get more than you play. Get more in every way at Jerry's Nugget Casino. Your paycheck at Jerry's Nugget, and you could win $1 million. Every spin is guaranteed to win great prizes like a new car, a new truck, loads of cash, and much, much more. Cash your paycheck at Jerry's Nugget and win. Jerry's Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas 51. Jerry's Nugget Casino. Just minutes from Cashman Field on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Boulder Creek Golf Club is designed to create opportunities to play, improve, and enjoy the great game of golf. It was created for you. When you're ready, day or night, to practice, learn, or play, call Boulder Creek Golf Club in Boulder City. Easily reached from the Las Vegas Valley at 702-294-6534. When your group or organization is planning a golf tournament, call the staff and find out about creative ways to make your outing a success. Boulder Creek Golf Club, home of Montana's restaurant in Boulder City, Nevada. Call to play golf now, 702-294-6534. Or try their website at bouldercreekgc.com.
Brace yourself and your General Motors vehicle for summer with a visit to the excellent GM Goodwrench Service Department at Desert Pontiac GMC Buick. Desert Pontiac GMC Buick's factory-trained air conditioning specialist will check your condenser and coolant level, adjust your drive belts, inspect your clamps and hoses, check Freon, test your system pressure, and check for leaks. Take no chances. Come see your GM Goodwrench Service Center, Desert Pontiac GMC Buick in the Valley Auto Mall at 330 North Gibson Road in Henderson. It's good to know it's Goodwrench.
We go to the bottom of the second here in Salt Lake City. Las Vegas jumping on Steve Green. They did swing the bats very well to collect 6 runs. They also took advantage of some questionable defense on the part of Salt Lake to get those runs. And Masao Kita will work in the second to Adam Riggs, Gary Johnson, and Barry Weston. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball low and outside, ball 1 to Riggs. It is 1-0. Adam Riggs at .277, 8 homers and 43 runs batted in. He is second on the team in RBIs behind Rob Quinlan, who has 47. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, ground ball to second. Thurston to his right. He's got it. Straightens and fires on to Barnes, and Riggs is out 4-3 to begin the bottom of the second. 1 gone for Gary Johnson. Johnson, a left-handed hitting left fielder, is at .250 with 4 homers and 35 RBIs. I told you about the results during the pregame show from yesterday around the PCL and the standings. Vegas in second place in the South, 2.5 behind Sacramento. Sacramento playing game 2 of their series at home tonight against Omaha. Brad Voiles going for Omaha against Eric Hilius, who's 8-5 for Sacramento. There's a strike to Johnson, 0-1. Tucson's in third place, 12.5 out, and Fresno losing 6 in a row at this point. They're in last place, 16 back. The 0-1 pitch. Johnson swings and misses, and the count is 0-2. In the North, Portland, the only game over 500, the only team over 500, and just a game over at 39-38. The weakest of the divisions in terms of the collective record. They lead Edmonton by 1.5, Salt Lake by 3.5. The Stingers have lost 5 in a row. Vegas is trying to hand in their 6th straight win here today. Tacoma's in last place, 5 games out. Off-speed pitches outside. It's 1-2 to Johnson. In the East, New Orleans leads Nashville by 2.5. Nashville looking for their 6th straight win today. Oklahoma, 5.5 out. Memphis, 14.5 out. 1-2 pitch to Gary Johnson. Splitter bouncing in front of the plate. Blocked by Kellner. It's 2-2. In the Central, Colorado Springs leads Omaha by 1. Omaha, all of a sudden, a hot team. They've won 5 in a row. Albuquerque's 3.5 out. Iowa's 6 out. Well, of course Omaha's hot. They're on the road. That's one of the weirdest things I've seen in a long time. A team has miserable time at home. They have a terrible home record, but they play great on the road. And with the College World Series going on right now in their home ballpark, they better play well on the road. 2-2 pitch to Johnson. Splitter swung on a missed strike 3. That's the Masao Kita signature pitch. His bread and butter. He gets his 3rd strikeout. 2 outs, and the batter's the center fielder, Barry Wesson. So Omaha's in 2nd place, 1 back of Colorado Springs. Albuquerque's 3.5 out, and Iowa is 6 out. Here's Barry Wesson, former Houston property. Did not play yesterday, so making his first appearance in the series right here. Big right-handed batter facing Kita. The pitch. Fastball's low ball 1-0. Wesson batting .268 with 4 homers and 25 runs batted in. As the Stingers trying to get up off the floor here. Las Vegas leading 6-1 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The pitch. Fastball, a strike on the inside. It's now 1-1 to Wesson. Wesson, who is from Mississippi, hit .293 at New Orleans last year with 11 home runs. And got into 15 games with the Astros, hitting .200 for the big club. 1-1 pitch. Fastball's inside, 2-1. Kita was back in Japan last year. He spent many years with the Yomiuri Giants and spent parts of 2 seasons with the Detroit Tigers. Back in Japan last year, and Dodgers picked him up, and here he is. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Wesson. A ground ball to second. Thurston picks this one up and flips it over to Barnes, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Kita in the Salt Lake second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. And at the end of 2 innings of play, the score, Las Vegas 6 and Salt Lake 1.
I've never seen a lineup quite like this one. The kitchen is loaded. The placemats are set. The bowls are on the table. He sees his granola crunch. He grabs the door. He swings. It's Anderson's Dairy Milk all the way. Nothing makes breakfast taste better than milk. Over cereal with eggs, toast, and jam, or add some chocolate and shake things up. Here's our pitch. Milk. It's a real team player. From Anderson Dairy, the dairy experts.
Boulder Creek Golf Club is designed to create opportunities to play, improve, and enjoy the great game of golf. It was created for you. When you're ready, day or night, to practice, learn, or play, call Boulder Creek Golf Club in Boulder City. Easily reached from the Las Vegas Valley at 702-294-6534. When your group or organization is planning a golf tournament, call the staff and find out about creative ways to make your outing a success. Boulder Creek Golf Club, home of Montana's Restaurant in Boulder City, Nevada. Call to play golf now, 702-294-6534. Or try their website at bouldercreekgc.com.
51's baseball on Wild Wild West with Kurt Gerhardt and Tim Neverett. Weekdays at 2 on Sports Radio 1460. Brace yourself and your General Motors vehicle for summer with a visit to the excellent GM Goodwrench Service Department at Desert Pontiac GMC Buick. Desert Pontiac GMC Buick's factory-trained air conditioning specialist will check your condenser and coolant level, adjust your drive belts, inspect your clamps and hoses, check Freon, test your system pressure, and check for leaks. Take no chances. Come see your GM Goodwrench Service Center, Desert Pontiac GMC Buick in the Valley Auto Mall at 330 North Gibson Road in Henderson. It's good to know it's Goodwrench.
6-1 Vegas at the end of 2 play little Beach Boys here. Fun, fun, fun. Not been so much fun for the Salt Lake Stingers here today, with Steve Green allowing 6 runs in the second, as Vegas sent 10 men to the plate, getting 7 hits. Robert Crosby, a long 2-run home run. There's a fastball outside ball one at Klipinski, who had an RBI single, which tied the game in the second. Now we're in the third. Klipinski, Bell, and Kellner, the bottom 3 for Vegas in the order. In the top of the third. 1-0 pitch Breaking ball there is a strike. Nice slow curve got in there. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. Steve Green has faced Vegas 3 times before today. There's the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball to deep right center field. Guile and Weston racing over on this ball, and they will not get it. It bounces and goes to the fence. Guile goes to get it at the warning track. Lipinski racing around second, heading for third. He's got a full head of steam, and he's got a stand-up triple, leading things off in the top of the third.
Third baseman, number 17, Rick Bell.
So Lipinski clouts one to the alley in right center. And for Lipinski, that is his 4th triple of the season. Team leader is Bubba Crosby, who hit his 7th yesterday. And the batter's Rick Bell. So Vegas with 9 hits. And here's Bell, who in a key play in the second hit a chopper to the second baseman Figgins. The infield is in now, by the way. Bell takes a fastball inside, ball 1. Figgins charged it, gloved it, went to tag out Lipinski, who stopped running and then fell to the ground, making it tougher for Figgins, who tagged him eventually, but then could not get the throw off to first in time to get Bell. The 1-0 pitch to Bell. Fastball is inside again, same location, 2-0. Again, if Figgins had flipped it to first, to Quinlan to get Bell, they would have had Lipinski and a rundown, and most likely would have tagged him out for a double play, but it didn't work out that way. So Bell, safe in the fielder's choice, eventually scored on the base hit by Murray. He hits a high drive deep but foul left field side. That's out of play. It is 2-1 on Rick Bell, hitting .252. Then Kellner came up, and on a hit-and-run play with Bell running, hit a ground ball to the left of second baseman Figgins, who got it. Quinlan vacated his post at first base to try to get the ball. There's a breaking ball for a strike. Bell checked his swing, but the pitch was in there, 2-2. Some of the people in the Salt Lake press box were saying that Rob Quinlan should not have left his post and should have stayed at first base. They say he's made that mistake a lot this year. Here's the 2-2 to Bell. He checks the swing, takes it down and away, and it's now 3-2. Anyway, that may be true, but it's still, the pitcher's never supposed to assume on a ground ball hit to the right side that unless the second baseman has to go to his right, he's supposed to break for that bag. Here's a breaking ball grounded up the third base side in the left field. Base hit past the diving Keith Johnson. Lipinski scores and a base hit by Rick Bell, and the Las Vegas lead is now 7-1. The infield is back. That ball might not get through. Maybe, maybe not. With the infield in, Johnson had a little chance to dive and stop it. So Bell drives in Lipinski. And Vegas with 10 hits, they lead 7-1 here in the top of the third. Rick Bell just drove in his 19th run. And he's at first base with nobody out. Here is Ryan Kellner. The pitch. Fastball, a high foul to the right back out of play. Strike one. Kellner had that infield hit when Figgins picked the ball up and had nobody to throw it to. He later scored on the double by Joe Thurston. So Kellner 1 for 1. His average stands at 129. No homers and 1 RBI. Again, Coy Hill with the day off today. Bell at first base, nobody out. 7-1 Vegas in the top of the third. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball grounded at the third base side. That is a foul ball. And the count is 0-2 on Kellner, who inspects the back handle as he steps out. Oh, 2. Kellner hesitating. North Carolina native steps back in, taps home plate with the bat. Bell off of first base, maybe a 2 or 3 step lead. Very short lead there. The 0-2 to Kellner. Fastball is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kellner has a look down at John Shoemaker and steps back in again. Green peeks over his shoulder to see where Bell is. Bell again a short lead. 1-2 stretch in the pitch. Breaking ball grounded at the third base side. That is a fair ball. And a bad hop over the head of Keith Johnson. Down the line it goes. The 51 relief pitchers scramble as Gary Johnson gets the ball. Bell goes to third. Kellner goes to second. And the 51s have runners at second and third with nobody out. That ball took a bad hop. It was hit right down the line. Johnson was there to get it. And what a kangaroo hop. Way over Johnson's head. It's a bad hop double for Kellner, who is 2 for 2. Ball went to the Vegas bullpen. And the 51's relievers were scattering hither and thither as Johnson went behind some plastic chairs to get the ball. Now with runners at second and third and nobody out, here's Calvin Murray. Vegas has 11 hits, 7-11 for Vegas. A run on 2 hits for the Stingers. Here is Murray. Fastball's inside, ball 1. I believe it's Will Nieves going down to the bullpen, and somebody's going to get up in a moment here. Murray has singled twice, driven in a run, and scored a run. The pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Durrington. Ball 2-0. So in the inning, Klipinski triple to right center. Bell singled him in with the infield in. And Bell took third on a bad hop double grounded down the third baseline by Ryan Kellner, who is 2 for 2. The stretch by Green and the pitch. Breaking ball hit up the third base side foul. That was a bad pitch, a hanging breaking ball. Murray hit it hard, but he pulled it foul. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. A righty does get up down the Salt Lake pen. Vegas sent 10 men to the plate in the 6-run second. Here in the third, they have a run in. Runners at second and third, and nobody out. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Calvin Murray. Fastball, that's low. It is 3-1. Joe Thurston is the on-deck hitter. Green's shortest start this year was 2 innings against Fresno. Here's the 3-1. And Murray, a one-handed swing and a miss. The count is now full. He beat Vegas on the second day of the season back on April 4th at Cashman, the only game in that 4-game series at Salt Lake 1. He went 5 innings, giving up a run on 2 hits. Then he beat Vegas again on May 17th here with 6 strong innings, giving up 2 runs. He's 3-0 against Vegas. The pitch is in the dirt, ball 4. Murray draws a walk, loading the bases. The last time he beat Vegas was at Cashman on May 27th with 7 strong innings, giving up 2 runs. So against Vegas this year, half of Green's wins have come against them. He's 6-2, 3-0 against Vegas. But today, a whole different story. Time is called, and walking out to the mound is the pitching coach, Rich Bombard. So Klipinski triples, Bell singles him in. Ryan Kellner, the bad hop double over the head of Keith Johnson. On the way for Kellner. That is his 3rd double of the season. And those are all of his extra base hits. Bombard trots back toward the first base dugout, leaving Green to face Thurston with the bases loaded and nobody out. Vegas already had 7-1. Here in the top of the third, they have a run in and are poised for more. Thurston has grounded a short and ripped a big 2-run double up the alley in right center, driving in Kellner and Murray in the second. Now we're in the third. Thurston with a chance to do some more damage. Here's a look and the pitch. Thurston swings and misses at a good slow curveball. He was out in front. 0-1. By the way, for Kellner, this is his 2nd multiple hit game. He had a 2-hit game against Sacramento earlier this year, and he's got a chance to get his first 3-hit game. After all, we're only in the 3rd inning. 0-1. Bell at 3rd, Kellner at 2nd, Murray at 1st. The 0-1 pitch to Joe Thurston. Fastball low and inside. It's now 1-1. Thurston backs out. 51's threatening the first, but after having runners at the corners and 1 out, could not score. But they broke loose in the second with 6, and they have a run in here. Bases filled, nobody out. The 1-1 pitch to Joe Thurston. He swings at DeGrom to second. Vegas charges, flips to second for 1. On the first base, that's a double play. On the play, Bell scores, and Kellner takes 3rd, and the Vegas lead is now 8-1. No RBI, as it is a 4-6-3 double play. Again, Bell scores the run. So Kellner's at 3rd with 2 outs. And the batter's Crosby, who has walked and hit a long 2-run home run to the base of the scoreboard in right field. 8-1 Vegas in the top of the 3rd. And the right-hander who was up in the Salt Lake pen just stopped throwing. Crosby hit a 3-1 fastball out of sight in his last at bat. Here's the stretch and the pitch from Green. Fastball to strike on the inside. It's 0-1. Kellner stands away from 3rd with 2 outs. And Crosby, who is back up to 408 now with 7 homers and 42 RBIs, waiting on the 0-1. There it is. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice save by Durrington. Crosby holds up his right hand to tell Kellner, don't go anywhere. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Crosby stepping back in with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Kellner off 3rd with 2 outs. Fastball is outside, ball 2, 2-1. Green has thrown a lot of pitches already in this game. Facing Vegas for the 4th time, and Vegas trying to beat him for the first time. There's a line drive base hit to center by Crosby. In comes Kellner. Las Vegas leads 9-1, and they have a dozen hits as we play in the 3rd inning. And Crosby's 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. Here is Barnes, who is 0 for 2. He has struck out looking and grounded out to second. Here comes Mike Brumley, and that's going to be all. Green is going to be pulled after a very rough 2 2/3 effort. And you figure it might have come to an end at some point. The 51s are not the top hitting team in the league, but they're a good enough hitting team that it's very hard to beat them even 3 times, let alone 4 times. Green will leave, trailing 9-1. The new pitcher is coming in, and there's a break in the action in Salt Lake. And friends, when you're looking for a change from greasy fast foods, head over to Subway and eat fresh. Back to Salt Lake with more action right after this.
Introducing Subway's new Chipotle Southwest Steak and Cheese. Chipotle Southwest Steak and Cheese. Hard to say, but if you please. Start with a P, H-I-P-O-T-N-A-L-E. Chipotle, Chipotle, Chipotle.
Head to a local Subway restaurant today and enter to win an exclusive VIP trip to L.A., courtesy of Subway Restaurants and the Las Vegas 51.
Chipotle, Subway, eat fresh.
As temperatures rise, so do your chances for car trouble. Help meet the demands of summer driving by taking your General Motors vehicle to an expert, Cadillac of Las Vegas West. Let Cadillac of Las Vegas West give your car a seasonal checkup to make sure it's ready for virtually anything summer can dish out. Your GM Goodwrench Service Center featuring GM-certified technicians, advanced diagnostic equipment, and genuine GM parts, Cadillac of Las Vegas West knows your vehicle better than anyone else does. So stop by your GM Goodwrench Service Center, Cadillac of Las Vegas West at 5185 West Sahara in Las Vegas, and keep yourself and your car cool this summer.
I have spent the last 2 days in the region commonly known as Gummy. This is a strange and magnificent world full of dazzling, multicolored worms and miniature bears who live together in small packs. The spirit of the Gummy will stay with me forever.
Make your own discovery at AM PM, where our crispier than ever corn dogs are 2 for 99 cents. AM PM, too much good stuff.
At participating stores for limited time while supplies last. Prices may vary.
Welcome back, friends, as they play the song Center Field by John Fogerty. Las Vegas hitting to all fields today. We're in the top of the third. Vegas already ahead 9-1. They have 12 hits, and they have really just steamrolled Steve Green out of this game. And the new pitcher is righty Doug Nickel, wearing number 38. Nickel is 6'4", 230 pounds, 28 years old, from Sonoma, California. And after Crosby singled and Ryan Kellner, that was all. Mike Brumley had seen enough. Nickel facing Larry Barnes, 0 for 2. Barnes takes a fast strike, and it's 0-1. Doug Nickel is 1-2 with a very good 2.18 ERA. It's the best ERA on this pitching staff. This is in his 26th game, all in relief. As a line drive base hit to right by Barnes. In to get it is Guile. Jogging to second base is Crosby. He'll stop there. Barnes joins the hit parade. He's 1 for 3. Well, everybody in the Vegas lineup now has at least 1 hit, and we're only in the 3rd inning. And here's Hermanson, who's fly to right and single to center. 13 hits for Vegas. The runner at second, Crosby, belongs to Green, and of course, Barnes, that's Nickel's man. Doug Nickel, 33 innings, only 29 hits, walking 13, striking out 15. League batting .236 against him. Nickel been pitching professionally since 1997. Hermanson takes a fastball for a strike. It is 0-1. 9-1 Vegas in the top of the 3rd. Nickel was Angels property originally, so he's come full circle. He spent time in the Phillies organization and big league time with the Phillies briefly in 2000. Has a line drive foul outside 3rd. And the ball goes up in the seats and bounces back down in the left field corner where Gary Johnson will go after it. 0-2 to count on Hermanson. He had big league time again briefly for the Phillies in 2001, where he had his best professional year ever. 2001 at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. For the Red Barons, he was 9-3 with a 1.68 ERA, working almost exclusively as a reliever. Boy, what a great year he had there. Last year he was all over the place. Here's the 0-2 to Hermanson. Fastball is a call, 3rd strike. The inning is over. More about Doug Nickel later on. Las Vegas, who sent 10 men to the plate in the 2nd, sends 8 men to the plate in the 3rd, and they collect 3 more runs here in the 3rd inning. On a total of 5 base hits, no errors, and 2 men left at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Las Vegas 9 and Salt Lake 1.
I'm Linda Cohn, Sports Center anchor and ESPN Zone's quality control inspector. That's right, ESPN Zone undergoes my rigorous 16-point inspection process, making it a place where fans come in week after week, game after game. There's the Linda Cohn taste test, where our famous American grill is tasted by yours truly. ESPN Zone's ribs. I'm thinking they could use a little more of our original sauce.
Well, Linda, that's your second helping. Linda?
ESPN Zone, a taste of ESPN.
Lightning. Papa would be proud. Papa Joe Chevalier, Nathan Free. Only on Sports Radio 1450. KEMO Las Vegas.
One Tuesday, lunchtime, a businessman ambled through a leafy city park wearing a subtle grin. His good humor could have been attributed to the promise of spring or the smiles of passers-by. But in truth, it came from, of all places, his new bank, Bank of America. Simply because they delivered on a promise. Free checking plus. You see, he never wanted a bank to entertain him or to tell him how to live. He simply wanted his banking to be better. And better it now was. With more ATMs where he needed them, unlimited online bill paying, and total security protection for lost or stolen check cards. All free. So today, he had fewer things on his mind, thanks in small part to the plus of Bank of America. Higher standards.
Free checking requires direct deposit. Visit bankofamerica.com, member FDIC.
2.5 innings complete in Salt Lake, and Las Vegas already leads this game by a score of 9-1. So Vegas, a couple of games ago in Edmonton in the finale there, established season highs for runs in the game and hits in the game, and they have a chance to surpass that. They lead 9-1. They had 15 runs and 22 hits the last game in Edmonton. There's a fastball inside ball one to Jeff Guile, hitting .215 with 6 homers and 17 runs batted in. His brother Aaron, of course, a former Las Vegas star. Guile batting eighth, and Keith Johnson and Sean Figgins. There's a drive to deep right. Going back is Hermanson, racing back, looking up. That ball is on its way. That ball is out of here. A home run for Guile, his 7th, and the Vegas lead is now 9-2. Well, yesterday, Vegas opened up a 9-2 lead as late as the 7th inning, and they wound up sweating it out. Salt Lake got 5 runs against the combined work of Andrew Lorraine and Rodney Myers. And Steve Collier was able to get a 2-inning save out of it to save the rest of the bullpen. Vegas won 10-7, but the Stingers are a good hitting team. And the batter's third baseman, Keith Johnson. Anyway, last game in Edmonton, Vegas had 15 runs, 22 hits. And they have a chance to at least get close on a couple of those, maybe both of them. This is a strike. 0-1 to Keith Johnson. Batting .250 with 5 home runs. He hit his 5th yesterday. And he has a total of 28 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball low and inside, ball 1. 1-1. Major League scores. Baltimore beat Atlanta 9-3, so Atlanta beat up the Orioles yesterday. The Orioles return the favor today. Toronto beat Montreal in the Canadian battle 4-2. Johnson hits a line drive foul outside third. It's now a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Florida edged Tampa Bay 3-2. And the Cleveland Indians defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates 8-5. Phillies blanked the Red Sox at the vet 5-0. And there are a number of games in progress. Here's a 1-2 count to Johnson. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the third. Vegas leading by a score of 9-2. Pitches in the dirt, bouncing past Kellner to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Yankees and Mets later on. Houston and the Texas Rangers later on. San Diego and Seattle just getting started. Top of the third, Angels 1 and the Dodgers nothing. Top of the third, the Giants and Oakland in the Bay Area get together. They're tied at 2. Ground ball to short. To his right is Kopinski. He backhands, straightens and slings it on the first base and gets him there. 1 down. And the batter is Sean Figgins. 7th inning, Rockies lead the Tigers 5-3. 8th inning, the Cubs lead the White Sox 2-1. Windy City battle. And the Kansas City Royals lead St. Louis in the 9th inning 5-2. Also in the 9th, Minnesota 8 and Milwaukee 3. In the National League, the Reds got 4 runs in the first inning. Diamondbacks at Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix batting in the bottom of the first. With the Reds up 4-0. Here is Sean Figgins. As a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Figgins doubled to right in the first and scored on a Mezzica's double. 1 strike to count on Figgins. One other game in progress in the PCL. There's the 0-1 pitch from Kita. Splitter is a little low, 1-1. In the 11th inning, Oklahoma and Iowa are tied at 1 apiece. One pitch, a fly ball to left. That's where Chen is. He's looking up into the cloudy sky, makes the catch, and there are 2 outs, and the bat will be Alfredo Amezaga. New Orleans and Tacoma, Memphis and Portland, Colorado Springs, Nashville, Albuquerque, Edmonton, Omaha, Sacramento, Fresno, and Tucson later on. Here's Amezaga, who doubled to right to score Figgins, and then when he was at second base with Quinlan at the plate, there's a pitch that popped out of Kellner's mitt just a couple of feet to the right of the plate. That's all. Amezaga took off for third, thinking he can make it. He does run well. Here's the pitch, and he takes a strike, 0-1. But Kellner pounced on the ball and made a good throw to Ricky Bell, who tagged Amezaga out. 1 strike on Amezaga, hitting .347, one of the top hitters in the league. As a splitter hit on 1 hop back to Kita, he says very much, and throw to first base, and the inning is over. Arigato. 1 run on the home run by Jeff Guile. 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. And at the end of 3 to score, Las Vegas 9 and Salt Lake 2.
Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified ads, where you can buy and sell most anything through the artisan classified ads. Oh, now there's TV, bicycles, and stereos too. From antiques to diva, the classifieds are here for you. Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified ads. 0383. 383-0383. If you've got a or a book that you want to sell, or your needs repair, you'd like a or a book, or maybe a or to sell a home, or get a job, pick up the phone and look to the artisan work for you. Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified as 383-0383.
51's Baseball on Papa Joe on your drive home. Sports Radio 1460.
I've spent the last 2 days in the region commonly known as Gummy. This is a strange and magnificent world full of dazzling, multicolored worms and miniature bears who live together in small packs. The spirit of the Gummy will stay with me forever.
Make your own discovery at AM PM, where our crispier than ever corn dogs are 2 for 99 cents. AM PM, too much good stuff.
At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices may vary.
At the end of 3, Las Vegas leads the Salt Lake Stingers by a score of 9-2. Vegas 9 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. Stingers 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. And Doug Nickel, who came in after a beleaguered Steve Green left the game after being racked up, he was trying for his 7th win and his 4th win against Vegas. He's been the Vegas nemesis this year, but it would not be today. There's still plenty of time for Salt Lake to score some runs and get back in the game, but Steve Green will either lose or have no decision. He goes 2 2/3, and he surrenders all 9 runs, and they're all earned on 12 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 1. Chen takes a strike from Nickel. Nickel came in and gave up a single to Barnes, but then he struck out Hermanson looking to finish the inning. Chen has doubled and scored and grounded out to first in a hard hit ball that Quinlan had a nice backhand play on. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Chen, Klipinski, and Rick Bell in the top of the 4th inning. Talking about Doug Nickel, the pitcher for Salt Lake before. And, well, you talk about a guy racking up frequent flyer miles last year. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Chen. He swings and lines one foul to the right. Look at it. Hits the railing and goes back onto the field near the first base coaching box. He began the season in the Phillies organization, AAA Scranton, and also spent some time with the big leagues, in the big leagues with the Phillies, just 4 games worth. Then the Cardinals had him for a while. He was involved in the Scott Rowland trade. The pitch is in the dirt to Chen, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was traded with Scott Rowland to the Cardinals. That was a trade in exchange for Placido Polanco, Bud Smith, and Mike Timlin. And then the Padres claimed him on waivers about a month later. As a ground ball in the right field, a base hit for Chen, and Chen is 2 for 3. Las Vegas has hit number 14 as Guile gets the ball back in. And it's the second hit off Nickel. The batter's Chris Klopinski, who had singled and a run and tripled and scored. He's 2 for 2. 9-2 Vegas in the top of the fourth. Nickel, while at Memphis in the Cardinal system, got into 14 games out of the bullpen and was 3-1 with an ERA of about 4.5. Then when the Padres claimed him, he went right to the big leagues, but did not pitch well for them. He was 1-0 in 10 games, but his ERA was around 8.5. Here is Klopinski, the pitch, as a fastball just outside ball 1, 1-0. So he's been all over the place. This is a battle, by the way, of two guys from Cal Berkeley, both Doug Nickel and Klopinski, who is up now, both at a Cal Berkeley. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Klopinski. As a drive hit to center field, Weston comes in and makes the catch about chest high. Back to Briscoe's chin. Klopinski bidding for his third hit it right on the money, but he lines out to the center fielder, Barry Weston. 1-on, 1-out for Rick Bell. In a little while, we'll let you know how you might be able to put yourself in a position to win tickets to the 2003 World Series, the Las Vegas 51's Choice World Series Sweepstakes. Now we'll give you the General Motors trivia question, of course. Here's the pitch to Rick Bell. That's low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Bell. Bell has reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the Vegas 6-run second. He drove in a run and scored another run with a base hit and a 3-run third. He is 1 for 2, a 2-run score. There's a ground ball to first, a big chopper to Quinlan. He throws to second base for 1, back to first base, and Bell is out. That is a double play to complete the inning. And that one goes 3-6-1. It went Quinlan to Amezaga, back to Nickel covering. Second double play hit into by Vegas today. And in the fourth, Vegas gets no runs on a hit. No errors and no one left. And at the end of 3.5, Las Vegas 9 and Salt Lake 2. 51's Baseball and Tim Truschel weekday mornings. Sports Radio 1460.
At Vista Chevrolet, we're proud to be an official sponsor of the Las Vegas 51's baseball team. Baseball is America's favorite pastime, and Vista Chevrolet is home of America's very best deals. Go Las Vegas 51s. We're rooting for you. See you at the ballpark.
Get over to Vista Chevrolet for 24 hours of shock and awe. You'll be shocked. You'll be in awe when you see our prices, because no one will sell you a car or truck for less. And no one will give you more money on your trades than Vista Chevrolet. If you find it for less, it's stolen. 24 hours of shock and awe. Sounds too good to be true. Then how does discounts and rebates at the $16,000 sound? Sounds shocking. It is. And with Tahoes and Avalanches for as low as $288 per month, you'll be in awe. You heard right. As low as $288 per month on Tahoes and Avalanches. 24 hours of shock and awe. And don't forget, we've got 0% financing for 60 months on every car and truck in stock except Corvettes. No one will sell you a car for less than Vista Chevrolet. No one. 24 hours of shock and awe. Only at Vista. Open 24 hours. Vegas Chevrolet. Home of America's very best deals. Sales, parts, service your way. 24 hours a day. US 95 and Ann Road. We'll be there. Believe it. All offers upon approved credit and does not include Corvettes. See dealer for details.
Come out to the ballpark and support the Las Vegas 51's baseball team. And come out to Vista Chevrolet to see our huge inventory of new and used vehicles. No matter what type of vehicle you're looking for, we'll be there. Vista Chevrolet is open 24 hours to serve you.
What I like about you, Brother Romantic. Bottom of the fourth inning. Las Vegas leading the Stingers of Salt Lake by a score of 9-3. Las Vegas is trying for his fourth win in this road trip in 6 games. They split 4 at Edmonton and won 10-7 yesterday. One thing about Vegas, for the most part, with the exception of that one game in Edmonton, they lost 4-2 and had only 6 hits. The offense has really been clicking, and certainly having Bubba Crosby back does not hurt. Here's the pitch to Quinlan. He hits a line drive in the center field for a base hit. The ball hit the third base side of the mound and cammed a little toward Klopinski, but it was hit so hard he couldn't get it. Base hit for Quinlan, opening things up on the fourth. Fourth hit for the Stingers. Vegas leading 9-2. And the batter's Trent Durrington, who struck out in the first. Friends, all Las Vegas 51's games heard live here on Sports Radio 1460 throughout the season. And you can also pick them up on the web, on the World Wide Web at sportsjuice.com. Oh, yeah. Here's the pitch to Durrington. He swings and fouls one back. Strike 1, 0-1. Durrington from the Gold Coast of Australia with an 0-1 count. SportsJuice.com providing that service. You can go to SportsJuice.com to pick up the games on the web, or you can go to the Las Vegas 51's website and find the link to the broadcasts there at www.lv51.com. Durrington takes a breaking ball low. That was a slider. It is 1-1. Durrington was with the 51s briefly 2 years ago. He was part of the Australian connection briefly. They had, for a while, just a brief amount of time, they had Durrington, Luke Prokopek, and Jeff Williams. The two pitchers plus Durrington. Here's the 1-1. As a fastball foul back out of play. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. Jeff Williams went to Japan. Prokopek was dealt to Toronto, and he was hurt for a while. And Durrington is still in touch. Says he's still in touch with those two periodically. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to him. Kita gets set. And the pitch. Fastball's foul back. He was jammed that time, and it's 1-2 to Durrington. Durrington's having a breakout year, though, this year. It just goes to show that with some players, playing time might not make a difference. But with a lot of players, and Durrington is one of them, they get to play, they'll produce. He's hitting .302. He leads the team with 22 steals. And there's nothing he can't do on the field except maybe pitch. He's catching today. He can play all the infield positions and all the outfield positions. 1-2 pitch, a grumble to third base, past Bell, and in the left field, a sharply hit ball. Bell tried to backhand it and couldn't do it. Around second is Quinlan. He'll stop, and Durrington safe at first base. 2-1 with nobody out for Adam Riggs. Bell tried to backhand that 2-hopper, and the ball skipped past him. The batter's Riggs, who grounded out to second to lead off the second. That is a base hit. 2 on, nobody out. Kita gets set. And the pitch to Riggs is low ball 1. 1 ball to no strikes. Riggs with good power. Again, it's a lot of time left in this game. Vegas leads 9-2, but the Salt Lake team has had a lot of come from behind from Maddox, even though they are 6 games under 500. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Kita. That breaking ball, he checked the swing, took it low again. They appeal, and no swing is confirmed by the first base ump, Brian Knight. It's 2-0. Adam Riggs, former Dodger property. Padres had him for a while at Portland for a while, and he spent some time in Mexico last year at Saltillo, where he hit .331. From Andover, New Jersey. And newlywed. His bride is due in November with their first child, the 2-0 pitch. He's a chopper to second. Thurston has a bad hop, and it goes over his head. So Quinlan scores. To third base goes Durrington. And I don't know what there is more of today. Vegas base hits or bad hops. It's now 9-3 in favor of Vegas. Couple of perfectly miserable hops all over the infield in this game. That's the first time that it's benefited Salt Lake. The other ones had benefited Vegas for the most part. That's a double play ball all the way. Instead, it is a bad hop single. There was nothing Thurston could do. He was in position, and the ball just came way up. Miserable hop right there. It's an RBI single for Riggs. There's nobody out. Here's Gary Johnson, who struck out his first time up. The pitch. Fastball to strike on the outside corner. Durrington at third, Riggs at first base with nobody out. What's interesting is that I had Joe Thurston, as you may have heard on the pregame show today. It's 9-3 Vegas now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball is outside. It is 1-1 on Johnson. And I asked him specifically, how's the infield? He said, it's good. It's good infield. Well, it played pretty evenly yesterday, but for whatever reason today, boy, it looks pretty choppy. 1-1 to Johnson. Durrington at third, Riggs at first with nobody out. Here's the pitch from Kita. It gets away from Kellner. Here comes Durrington. He'll score. To second base goes Riggs. It's now a 9-4 lead for Vegas. And yeah, it's a 5-run lead, but we're only in the 4th inning. And in this ballpark, and the way this team can swing the bat, and remember, Kita has not pitched in a while, and the Vegas bullpen is not in good condition right now. So this game, believe me, this game is far from over. That's a wild pitch. Durrington comes in to score right there, and Riggs is at second base on that wild one. It's 2-1 on Johnson. What Vegas needs is for Kita to keep this pitch count down enough to get at least through 5, maybe even 6 innings. If he can, the pitch is foul back, and the count's 2-2 on Gary Johnson. Johnson, who's had a lot of injury trouble in his career, getting back in. 2-2 to count. Riggs at second base with nobody out. Keita looks back at Riggs. Now comes to his hitter. Splitter fouled in the air outside third, and Bell watching that one go back in the seats by several rows. Fan reaching over missed it, and someone else will end up with that souvenir. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gary Johnson. The Johnson part of the Angel outfield puzzle. But the Angels were without Darren Erstad, who was here on rehab with Salt Lake for a while. And his extended absence really exposed the weakness of the Angels as far as outfield depth is concerned. The 2-2 to Johnson from Keita. There's the splitter, swung on a missed strike 3. That's the strikeout he needed. He's gotten Johnson twice with that pitch. 4 strikeouts for Keita, 1 out in the 4th inning, and the batter's Barry Wesson. 9-4 Vegas in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, in the next 7 drafts, since they picked Erstad with the first overall pick in 1995, the Angels never chose an outfielder within the first 3 rounds for the first time in 20 years. When Baseball America began its annual ranking of the top 10 prospects in each organization, the Angels had no outfielders in their top 10. The pitch is ball 1 to Wesson, who grounded out to second his first time up. None of the Angels' minor league outfielders has established himself as a solid alternative to start at Anaheim next season, at least not yet. Nobody. 1-0 pitch, ground ball foul outside third. It's now 1-1. And one Angels team official, when he was asked what he sees among the outfielders at the top rungs of the farm system, said, "I don't see a Dunn," reference to Adam Dunn, the 23-year-old Reds outfielder who led the major leagues in home runs. The Angels' outfield depth includes Gary Johnson, who just struck out, Jeff Devannon, Rob Quinlan, who's playing first base today but is generally an outfielder, and Barry Wesson, who's at the plate right now. There's the 1-1 pitch to Wesson. Fastball bouncing away from Kellner, and to third base goes Riggs. Another wild pitch to second of the inning for Keita. Boy, he really overthrew that ball. It's 2-1 on Wesson. The problem is that all those guys I named, Wesson, Quinlan, Gary Johnson, Jeff Devannon, they're all older than 26. Angels still hope that Johnson might emerge as a corner outfielder, that Devannon might secure at least a bench spot in Anaheim. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Wesson. Keita deals. And that pitch is fouled at the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. But still, the outfielder in that group most likely to start for the Angels next year might be Quinlan. And not even in the outfield, but at first base maybe, depending upon what happens with the Angels at that position. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Barry Wesson. Keita says okay to Kellner's sign. He looks at Riggs, kicks, and comes home. Splitter swung on a missed strike 3. He gets Wesson. That's his 5th strikeout. Wesson chased that pitch in the dirt. So he strikes out Johnson and Weston. 2 down. Riggs still at third, and here's Guile, who had a first pitch fastball over the fence and right in the third. 9-4 Vegas in the bottom of the 4th. Well, that leaves the Angels rooting hard for a guy like Nathan Haynes, whom Oakland selected in the first round of the '97 draft and traded the Angels 2 years later as the key prospect in the Randy Velarde deal. There's the pitch to Guile. He hits a fly ball to left field shallow. Here comes Chen. He's there to make the catch, and the inning is over. So Keita got off to a rough start, but he finished strongly with a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball. 2-run score on 3 hits, no errors, a couple of wild pitches. They leave Riggs at third, and at the end of 4, it is Las Vegas 9 and the Salt Lake Stingers 4.
Got mold in your shower or your kitchen? You checked with your insurance company, and they said you're not covered for that mold, right? And I'm sure an inspector told you that you can't sell your house with that mold. What if I could teach you how to clean the mold yourself? Then Annie the Maid would be offering you a service that would give you real knowledge about a growing problem. Bateman Technology Masters is a corporate partner with Annie the Maid. and we're offering mold removal classes for home and business owners. You know, mold remediation costs between $3,000 and $5,000 for a bathroom-sized area. So if we at Annie the Maid can teach you a valuable skill, which will save you $2,000 to $3,000 or more in the process, then our abatement technology division will have offered you a valuable service. In our half-day class, Annie the Maid will teach you how to contain, remediate, and document levels 1 and 2 mold contamination. And proper documentation really is the key to avoiding future lawsuits against you. We're the oldest cleaning company in the Valley. Annie the Maid, Abatement Technology Masters. Call 739-8888 for classes, days, and times.
51's Baseball and the Jungle. Jim Rome, weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1460.
Camden and Oasis Apartment Homes are proud sponsors of the Las Vegas 51. Camden and Oasis Apartment Homes are here to provide you with 37 locations in the Las Vegas and Henderson communities. From studios to 3-bedroom family-sized apartment homes, there's something to fit anyone's needs and everyone's budget. Stop by any Camden and Oasis Apartment Home complex, or while you're at the ballpark, check out their ad and play ball. Camden and Oasis Apartment Homes, the only choice in apartments.
At the end of 4, 9-4, Las Vegas leading it. Ryan Keller will lead off in a moment. I want to tell you about the Las Vegas 51's Choice World Series sweepstakes, giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2003 World Series. Here's how it works. Head over to any one of 6 Las Vegas area General Motors dealerships and simply sign up. There'll be a drawing later this summer for a chance to win tickets to a 2003 World Series. Keller facing Doug Nickel. Keller 2 for 2, swings and misses at the fastball from Nickel. He actually tipped it into Nickel's mitt. Strike one. Keller had an infield hit in the second and scored, and doubled, a bad hop doubled on the third baseline and scored again in the third. He's not had a 3-hit game yet to pitch. He takes a strike on the outside at 0-2. So just go over to any of those 6 Las Vegas area GM dealerships, tell you which dealerships are involved and the addresses, and no purchase necessary. Just fill out the entry form, pop it in the box at those dealerships, and you're good to go. Here's the 0-2 to Keller. Call, third strike in the outside corner. Fastball got him. That's the second strikeout for Nickel since he came in. He got Hermanson earlier. 1 out, and here's Murray, who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles, a walk, a run batted in, and a run scored. Those dealerships include Cadillac of Las Vegas West on West Sahara near Lindell, where Steve Rockwell is the service manager. Take good care of your car. There's a grumble back to Nickel, who jumps up to grab that hard one-hopper and throws to first to get Murray. Nice play by Nickel. Murray retired for the first time. 2 outs for Joe Thurston, who's 1 for 3 with a 2-run double and a run scored. He rolled into a double play. His last at bat in the third, facing Green. Anyway, Cadillac of Las Vegas also at 2711 East Sahara. That service department headed up by Mr. Bruce Payne. You can head to Worth and Buick at 3025 East Sahara. And they've been around more than 40 years. That's Vaughn Hall's service department there. Vista open 24 hours Vegas Chevrolet at US 95 and Ann Road. Don Piercy is the service manager of that 24-hour dealership. There's a strike to Joe Thurston, 0-1. Desert Pontiac GMC at 330 North Gibson Road in Henderson near the Valley Auto Mall. That's where Bill Buckley is the boss of that service department. The pitch is inside, 1-1 to Thurston. Or Desert GMC Buick on West Sahara. Service department headed up by Tom Cuthbertson. Just head over to any of those 6 dealerships and sign up. That's all it takes. There's a pop fly to short. That's where Meziga is. He's on the dirt. He's got it. It's a quick inning. As Doug Nickel has been the tonic since Steve Green left. He's now gone 2 1/3 scoreless innings. And nobody's gotten past first base against him. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning in Salt Lake. Las Vegas 9 and the Stingers 4.
Buying or selling a home can be as stressful as making it as a Major League ball player.
Strike 3, you're out!
There are enough real estate curveballs to exasperate even the best hitter. Between getting a mortgage, finding the right house, and making the right bid, it's like trying to hit a wicked 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Century 21 has a game plan to help you reduce your worrying. With 23 offices in the Las Vegas area, they have all your bases covered. Their experienced agents pledge to help you locate the right property for your specific needs. Century 21 is also offering you the chance to win $250,000 toward the purchase of a new home. All you have to do is log on to Century21.com or stop by your local Century 21 office. You'll automatically be entered in the Century 21 Home Run Derby. It's a grand slam. Century 21, always trying to make your life as stress-free as possible, even when it comes to contests. Century 21, official real estate organization for Major League Baseball.
51's baseball and Tim Brando at noon weekdays on Sports Radio 1460.
Introducing Subway's new Chipotle Southwest Steak and Cheese. Chipotle Southwest Steak and Cheese. Hard to say, but if you please. Start with a C, H-I-P-O-T, and then L-E. Chipotle, Chipotle, Chipotle.
Head to a local Subway restaurant today and enter to win an exclusive VIP trip to L.A., courtesy of Subway Restaurants and the Las Vegas 51.
Chipotle, Subway, eat fresh.
Welcome back, friends, to Salt Lake City. Bottom of the fifth inning, and the Las Vegas 51s are ahead of the Salt Lake Stingers by a score of 9-4. Masao Kita is getting ready to face in the fifth inning the 9 1-2 hitters Keith Johnson, Sean Figgins, and Alfredo Amezaga. Vegas 9 runs, 14 hits, and no errors at the halfway point of this game. Salt Lake 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. And Augustine Montero begins to play catch with Coy Hill in the Las Vegas bullpen. Here's Johnson 0 for 1. The pitch. Slider. That's a little low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Keith Johnson, who grounded out to short his first time up. So they're trying to stretch Keith out through 5 innings at least if they can. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking balls up and in. It's 2-0. Keto got through the first 3 innings, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. In the fourth, Quinlan singled, Durrington singled, and Riggs hit a double play ball to Thurston, but it took a bad hop over his head as a ground ball foul outside third. 2-1 to Johnson. That scored Quinlan and got Durrington to third. He scored on a wild pitch. That got Riggs to second, and Riggs took third on a wild pitch, but Keita got tough at that point. He struck out Gary Johnson and Barry Wesson and induced Jeff Guile to hit a fly ball to left to complete the inning. So Keita trying to go 5 innings for the second time this season. His first start was in Nashville when he went 5 innings, giving up 1 hit and no runs early May. 2 balls and a strike. Johnson, who has a new bat, he cracked the other one on that foul ball. Here's Keita's 2-1 pitch to him. Man, that's a splitter, grounded foul behind the plate to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talking about the Angels' outfield situation, and it's pretty thin, and the fact that they lost Darren Erstad for a while exposed that. But they do like young Nathan Haynes, who's only 23 years old. He was hitting over 300 at AA Arkansas with 14 steals. Here's the pitch. Chop foul at the plate, still 2-2. And a very high on-base percentage. The Angel organization seems divided on his durability and ability to make enough contact to take advantage of his speed, but if the Angels want to develop a starting outfielder from within their farm system before the next couple of years, it might be Haynes or nobody. There's the 2-2 pitch. A ground ball at the third base side, foul again. And still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Johnson. Angels also released a player recently under a little bit of unusual circumstances. Infielder Oscar Salazar, who had been at AA Arkansas. 2-2 pitch. Johnson grounds another one foul to the third base dugout. It's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Salazar had gotten clearance to fly home to Venezuela and bring back his wife and son when the Angels suddenly needed Salazar here at Salt Lake. And farm director Tony Regans told him the organization would reimburse part of his travel costs if he would report to Salt Lake right away and defer the trip home. As a pop-up, shallow right, Thurston backpedaling. He wants it. He's got it with Hermanson right behind him, and Thurston falls down for emphasis. 1 out in the batter, Sean Figgins. Salazar did not want to do that. He wanted to go home, and the Angels released him and promoted Arkansas infielder Adonis Harrison to Salt Lake, but Harrison is not with the team anymore either. They made some other changes here. They had a player or 2 on the disabled list. Once they got healthy, Harrison was sent out again. Here's Figgins. He's doubled and scored and flat out to left. The pitch. Fastball for a strike on the inside corner. It is 0-1. Sean Figgins. Let's see a foot race between Figgins, Wilkin Ruan, Bernie Castro, and Tyke Redmond of Nashville. A pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Should be pretty interesting. One ball and 1 strike to Figgins, who's hitting .308. Keita takes his cap off, wipe some perspiration away. It's getting a little warmer here today. Not Vegas warm, but kind of warm by Salt Lake standards. And there's still some clouds around. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Figgins. And it's outside ball 2-1. But very pleasant day overall. A smattering of rain earlier, and it stopped. And the Wasatch Mountain Range looking ever majestic out in the distance. Great view of it from here. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Figgins. Fastball is a little low, and it's now 3-1 with Alfredo Amezaga on deck. Kita has not walked anyone yet through 4 1/3. He has struck out 5 men, mostly with that splitter. In fact, he's gotten Gary Johnson with it twice. 3-1 pitch. Fastball line to right, base hit for Figgins. Fastball right down the middle of batting practice type pitch. He didn't want to walk him. So Figgins ripped it to right for the base hit, making him 2 for 3, and bringing up Alfredo Amezaga. In a perfect world, Las Vegas would like to see Kita go 6, but that's not entirely realistic. If he can get through this inning, they'd be fairly satisfied. But in Montero, who's throwing in the bullpen, is not a guy that they like to use in close games because of his frequent control trouble. But we'll see. Here's Amezaga. He has doubled in a run and grounded back to the box. 1 on, 1 out. That's 7 hits for the Salt Lake Stingers. Vegas has 14 hits, and they lead in the game 9-4. The pitch. Amezaga takes in the dirt. Nice pick up there by Kellner. Ball 1. 1 ball to no strikes. Talking before about the value of a utility man like Trent Durrington. Of course, every team needs somebody like that. For the Dodgers, it would have to be somebody like Jason Romano. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a fast strike, and it's 1-1. At the time, up until recently, he hasn't known whether he's coming or going. The shuttle between Cashman Field and Dodger Stadium so many times that he hadn't really settled in either place. He had been living out of a suitcase, staying in hotels all over the place. 1-1 pitch grounded up the middle. Thurston, but a backhanded effort, he can't get it. It's in the center field for a base hit. Figgins takes third as Murray gets it back in, and Amezaga is 2 for 3. Ground ball just got under Thurston's glove. Runners at the corners, 1 out. And the batter's Quinlan, who has struck out and singled and scored. 8 hits for the Stingers. Not a well-hit ground ball, but he hit it just beyond Thurston's reach. Quinlan batting .321, stepping in. Montero throwing harder now in the bullpen. Kita looks in. Has the sign from Kellner. First and third, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. He swings and misses at a high inside fastball. Strike 1, 0-1. Now, Romano's another young guy, 23 years old, very versatile. Doesn't necessarily like that role as a utility guy. But he's hoping to house hunt with his wife in L.A. as an everyday player. Drive to deep right center field. Nobody's going to catch this ball. It bounces and goes to the wall. Figgins scores. Amezaga being waved in. Racing for third is Quinlan. Now he stops and goes back to second, but it's a 2-run double, and the Stingers are back in the game. It's now 9-6 Las Vegas. Well, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, Vegas jumped out to a 9-1 lead, and it looked like they had everything going. But, you know, Kita has not gone this long very often, and he's been hurt. And the 51s have a very, very thin bullpen, and Salt Lake has a very good hitting team, especially here at home. And here comes John Shoemaker. He's going to pull the plug on Kita, and Kita will not get the win. He came with a 2 out to qualifying, but he leaves. That's 5 unanswered runs scored by the Stingers. The Vegas lead, once 9-1, has shrunk to 9-6. And here comes Augustine Montero. And the big question is, will he throw strikes? Friends, when you're looking for a break from greasy fast foods, head to Subway and eat fresh. Back to Salt Lake with more action after this.
At Vista Chevrolet, we're proud to be an official sponsor of the Las Vegas 51s baseball team. Baseball is America's favorite pastime, and Vista Chevrolet is home of America's very best deals. Go Las Vegas 51s. We're rooting for you. See you at the ballpark.
Get over to Vista Chevrolet for 24 hours of shock and awe. You'll be shocked. You'll be in awe when you see our prices, because no one will sell you a car or truck for less, and no one will give you more money on your trades than Vista Chevrolet. If you find it for less, it's stolen. 24 hours of shock and awe. Sounds too good to be true. And how does discounts and rebates up to $16,000 sound? Sounds shocking. It is. And with Tahoes and Avalanches for as low as $288 per month, you'll be in awe. You heard right. As low as $288 per month on Tahoes and Avalanches. 24 hours of shock and awe. And don't forget, we've got 0% financing for 60 months on every car and truck in stock except Corvettes. No one will sell you a car for less than Vista Chevrolet. No one. 24 hours of shock and awe. Only at Vista. Open 24 hours. Vegas Chevrolet. Home of America's very best deals. Sales, parts, service your way. 24 hours a day. US 95 and Am Road. We'll be there. Believe it. All offers upon approved credit and does not include Corvettes. See dealer for details.
Come out to the ballpark and support the Las Vegas 51's baseball team. And come out to Vista Chevrolet to see our huge inventory of new and used vehicles. No matter what type of vehicle you're looking for, we'll be there. Vista Chevrolet is open 24 hours to serve you.
Welcome back again to Salt Lake. Las Vegas held a 9-1 lead that has shriveled to 9-6, and we're only in the 5th inning. And the Vegas bullpen does not have a lot of available arms. And Augustine Montero, who has had a lot of control trouble since coming up from Jacksonville, will face Trent Durrington. Quinlan at second base, one out. The pitch is a foul ball back out of play, strike one. 0-1. Durrington jumping on the first pitch, and he hit it foul. Durrington facing Keita, struck out and singled and scored in the 4th. So Quinlan's 2-run double up the alley in right center. Drives in Figgins and Amezaga. And Quinlan now has 49 RBIs to lead this team. One strike on Durrington, the cleanup man. The pitch from Montero. A line drive in a left center field. That's a base hit. That's going to score Quinlan. Murray gets it back in. It is 9-7 Las Vegas on a base hit by Trent Durrington. Masao Keita, those numbers are now complete. He goes 4 1/3. He gives up 7 runs, all earned on 9 hits. And here is Riggs. He's the tying run, and it's only the 5th inning. And a couple of components here are working completely in Salt Lake's favor. Now, the bottom line for the moment is that Vegas still has the lead. But Montero, it's up to him to quiet the Salt Lake bats, which are very, very loud and very, very frequently loud. The pitch is a fastball for a strike to Riggs. That's 4 straight hits. Riggs has grounded out, had the bad hop single past Thurston in the 4th that drove in Quinlan. Montero with an 0-1 count on Riggs. Off first base is Durrington. Throw to first base and he's back in. Remember, Durrington has 22 steals, so they have to keep an eye on him. Montero has no record in 7 games, a 4.97 ERA. The big figure, 14 walks in 12 2/3 innings with 6 strikeouts. The 0-1 pitch, slider, a pop-up on the left side. Bell backpedaling. Here comes Klipinski to try to help out. Klipinski wants it on the grass. He's got it. That's the second out of the inning. Riggs is now 1 for 3, and the batter's Gary Johnson. The other thing working against Vegas right now is the fact that they have not hit a hard foul ball against Doug Nickel. Steve Green gone from the game, but Nickel is looking like Kevin Brown out there in 2 2/3, giving up just 2 harmless singles and nothing else. So they've had no clue about scoring on Doug Nickel, who has the best numbers of anybody on the Salt Lake staff. How long Nickel can go, nobody knows, but he sure has helped to change this game around by shutting the Vegas bats down. Fastball is outside to Gary Johnson, who was up twice against Keita, struck out both times. Once again, Keita, 4 1/3, 9 hits, 7 runs earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 wild pitches. The 1-0 pitch to Gary Johnson. There goes Durrington. The pitch is swung on his. Keller's throw to second base is on target. He is safe. He just got around Klipinski's tag. Great throw by Kellner. One of the things there happening was that Durrington did have a good jump on Montero. Kellner made a great throw, and it was very close, and Durrington just got in there for his 23rd steal. 1-1 on Gary Johnson. Well, you can't make a better throw than that. 1-1. Johnson getting back in. Montero is set. Here's his 1-1 pitch to Johnson. A shattered bat, looper into right for a base hit. Here comes Durrington. Hermanson falls down, so Johnson goes to second, and the Vegas lead is 9-8. "11 hits for Salt Lake, 5 in the inning. That run is charged to Montero. RBI single for Johnson and an error on Hermanson, who slipped and fell, allowing Johnson to take second. The tying run is in scoring position. Here's Weston 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and struck out. Montero's pitch, fastball foul back, strike 1, 0-1. One strike on Wesson. Keita will have no decision in this game. Montero trying to hold on to the lead. And remember, it's only the 5th inning. I mean, there's all kinds of time left here. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Wesson. Fastball is outside and low, 1-1. Montero is a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball and slider. And one of the difficulties for Montero, he put up respectable numbers at AA, but there's not much of a difference in velocity between the two pitches. So if you can time him, sometimes you can get to him. 1-1 pitch to Wesson. Fastball inside the kneecaps. It's 2-1. Montero pitched twice in Edmonton, most recently 4 days ago, where he allowed 2 runs earned on 3 hits in 2 innings, walking 3 batters. It's the second time Salt Lake has seen him. 2-1 to Wesson. Johnson off second base. Here's the pitch. A ground ball foul outside third. It's 2-2. In fact, when Montero was called up from Jacksonville toward the end of May, his first AAA game was against Salt Lake at Cashman. He allowed 2 runs earned on 7 hits in 2 1/3 innings to this Stinger team. So they've hit him before. 2-2. Montero peering in the Kellner. Wesson waiting patiently. The 2-2 pitch is coming. Slider, slow ground ball wide of third base, and it's picked up by Klipinski, who double clutches and has no play. Everybody safe. And there are 2 on with 2 outs for Jeff Giles. Not much Klipinski can do. The 51s are going to argue now with the third base umpire, Mark Winters, and try to say that Gary Johnson interfered with Ricky Bell. That was Ricky Bell's ball, really. He was trying to cut over from third to get to the ball, and he had to kind of swerve around Johnson to get there. So Klipinski came in and picked the ball up, and he had no play. It's an infield hit for Barry Wesson. That would have been the 3rd out of the inning. But instead, it's 3 hits off Montero, and the batter's Jeff Guile, who's homing and fly to left. Shoemaker's upset. Shoemaker is discussing the call now with Mark Winters, believing that Gary Johnson interfered with Rick Bell's effort to catch that ground ball. And the discussion continues. It is 9-8 Vegas. Vegas was ahead 9-1. Now the discussion is over, and Shoemaker heads off the field. Bell has something else to say to Mark Winters. And the play will now continue. So Johnson's at third. Weston with the infield hitters at first. That's 12 hits for the Stingers. 6 of them in this inning. And here's Guile, the 9th man to bat. So Montero trying to get Guile and keep the tying run from scoring. That's Johnson at third. Weston at first is the go-ahead run. And we're only in the bottom of the 5th inning. Montero's pitch to Guile. The runner from first goes. It's a strike. And Kellner fakes the throw to second base. Looking Johnson back to the bag at third, and Weston steals second. 0-1 the count on Jeff Guile, who can give the Salt Lake Stingers a lead with a base hit now. 0-1. Montero, Dominican right-hander, looking in, bending at the waist, getting Kellner's side. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Guile. As a line drive knocked down by Montero, who picks it up and throws to first in the dirt, dug out by Barnes. Good play at both ends. That line shot, Montero looked like Martin Brodeur on the glove save, knocking the ball down. He had to scramble after it. The ball was sitting on the ground in front of the mound. He grabbed it and threw low to Barnes, who dug it out. And the inning is over. But the Stingers climbed to within 1 by scoring 4 runs on 6 hits. No errors. I take that back. I beg your pardon. 1 error. And 2 men left at the end of 5. Las Vegas 9, Salt Lake 8.
Bundling is a great program for a lot of our customers. I think that's where Cox Communications really starts to shine.
Bundling is a great special where you save money.
Because it combines our analog services, our digital service, with premium movie channels, and our high-speed internet service.
With digital cable, you can get over 250 channels.
32 premium movie channels.
45 digital music channels.
41 pay-per-view channels.
High-speed internet service.
We're up to 6 times faster than DSL. We're up to 60 times faster than dial-up.
We bundle a great rate together for you so that you get the best rate.
It gives you the maximum amount of entertainment for the least amount of money. You get a price break. You get a deal. And everybody likes to get a deal.
I'm Mark Noble.
My name is Rosemary.
I'm Mark Singleton.
My name's Derek Shore.
My name is Harry Hargraves. We are Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
It's baseball season again, so isn't it time you headed home? KB Home has over 30 beautiful communities in Las Vegas where you can choose your own home site, spacious floor plan, and thousands of customizing options that help make it feel like yours the day you move in. Of course, you also get a really great price. Log on to kbhome.com or call 1-888-KB-HOMES for more details. That's 1-888-KB-HOMES. It's the smartest play you'll make all season.
We've had some crazy games in this road trip, but right now this is among the craziest. Vegas ahead 9-1 at one point. That lead has been whittled quickly over 3 innings to 9-8. Top of the 6th inning, Doug Nickel has been pitching beautifully in relief of Steve Green. He faces Bubba Crosby. Fastball is inside, ball 1. Green racked up for all 9 runs and a dozen hits in 2 2/3, but Nickel has shut the 51s down on 2 harmless singles. It is scoreless 2 1/3 since coming in. Crosby has walked at a 2-run homer and singled in a run. That run that he knocked in, that knocked out Steve Green. Line drive to short, caught by Amezico, 1 out. And the batter's Larry Barnes. If the 51s can figure out a way to get some runs off Doug Nickel, it would make life a lot easier for them, but it hasn't happened yet. Here is Barnes, who has struck out, grounded out, and singled. The way this game has gone, with the Stingers scoring in every inning but the second, and not much available in the Vegas bullpen after Montero, who's already in the game. Here's the pitch to Barnes. Fastball is outside, ball 1. Barnes is 1 for 3 with a single off of Nickel in the 3rd. You get the very distinct feeling that 1 run is not enough to win this game. Here's the pitch. It's up and away, 2-0 to Barnes. 9 runs, 14 hits, 1 error for Vegas. For Salt Lake, 8 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. 2-0 to Barnes. Nickel delivers. A changeup hit high and deep on the left field side going foul. That's back out of play. It is 2-1. Rattles around in the seats. A 2-ball, 1 strike count on Barnes. Got some scoring updates for you also. PCL, Memphis, Portland, no score in the 2nd. 4th inning, New Orleans and Tacoma, no score. Iowa beat Oklahoma 2-1. The other games are later. Barnes hits one in the air, fouled again. That's headed for the Vegas bullpen area. That's back out of play. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Major League's couple of late games, Yankees and Mets. Battle of New York. Look out over here. Houston and Texas also. That's a later game. Seattle, San Diego, no score in the bottom of the 2nd. 4th inning, Anaheim 2, and the Dodgers 1. Also in the 4th inning, Oakland 6 and the Giants 5. And everything else is final. We'll get to the scores in a minute. 2-2 to Barnes. Ground ball to the hole at short. Backhanded by Ameziga. He makes a long throw to first base. Too late. Barnes beats it out. Nice effort by Ameziga, but he had a little chance to throw on Barnes because he had to go so far to his right just to get the ball. 3rd hit off of Nickel. It's the 2nd hit that Barnes has had today. Both of them off of Nickel. Infield single brings up Hermanson, who has flied out, single and struck out facing Nickel. 15 hits for Vegas. Again, they lead by a score of 9-8 here in the top of the 6th. Major League Finals. Rockies beat Detroit 5-3. The Cubs beat the White Sox 2-1. Kansas City knocked off St. Louis by a score of 5-2. The Minnesota Twins defeated Milwaukee 8-3, and Philadelphia blanked Boston at the Vet 5-0. Curveballs high and inside, ball 1 to Hermanson. Cleveland, an 8-5 winner over Pittsburgh. Florida, in a battle of that state, beat Tampa Bay 3-2. Toronto beat Montreal 4-2. And Baltimore was a 9-3 winner over the Atlanta Braves. The 1-0 to Hermanson. Fastball is inside. It's 2-0. Chen on deck. A left-hander gets up in the Salt Lake pen. 2-0. Hermanson batting .386. 6 homers, including one last night, and 22 RBIs. Barnes at first, one out. The outfield playing Hermanson deep and just slightly to pull. Here's the 2-0 look by Nickel and the pitch. And he takes inside. It's dropped by Durrington. Ball 3-0. Relatively small crowd here today. And the nice crowd here last night, over 9,300. But today, much smaller collection of Salt Lake fans watching this one. But the fans who are here, certainly getting their money's worth, no question. 3-0 the count to Hermanson. Barnes eases off first base. Nickel comes home. 3-0 fastball, low and inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Hermanson. First walk issued by Nickel. 2 on with 1 out, and the batter's Chen, who is 2 for 3. Barnes goes down to second. Durrington goes out to speak to Nickel. Chen facing the starter Steve Green double to key that 6-run second at Vegas had, which seems like a long time ago. He later scored on Klopinski's single. He grounded out hard to first his next time up, and then leading off the fourth, he singled to right against this pitcher, against Nickel. Okay. Chen getting set to step in. Nickel looking around at his defensive alignment as he rubs up the ball. And Chen hitting .295 at 8 homers and 40 RBIs steps in. Barnes at second, Hermanson at first, 1 gone. Center fielder Weston going a couple of steps toward right center for Chen. Here's the pitch. A line drive foul to the right and hits a bracing wire and goes back into the second deck. Strike 1, 0-1. First pitch fastball. Chen a little late on it. 1 strike to him. Nickel thinking things over. Now with his right arm hanging down, he peers into Durrington. Now he has the side. The 0-1 pitch to Chen. Nickel checks the runners and delivers. Fastball low and inside, ball 1. 1-1. The Salt Lake bullpen, it's either Mark Lukashevitz or Rich Rodriguez. Can't quite make out the number. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nickel taking extra time. Barnes at second, Hermanson at first. Well, 1-1 to Chen. Here it is. Fastball to ground ball to second. This should be a double play. Higgins goes to second for 1, back to first. That's 2, and the inning is over, and all of the momentum, 100%, continues to go in Salt Lake's favor. At the end of 5.5, Vegas 9, Salt Lake 8.
Let me tell you a story about hardship, about beating the odds. This is the story of Susan Diedrich. Susan woke up every day at 3 a.m., cooked breakfast for her brothers and sisters, dressed them for school, then walked 4 miles through the frozen tundra to attend classes at the local university. On her way, she would work a shift at the local snowshoe factory, where her little hands would tie wood sticks together until they were too sore to write her name with. Occasionally, she would have to fight a bear or a starving mountain lion, all with her tiny little snowshoe-building hands. But she did it, and now she's a successful business owner selling bear pelts to lonely businessmen in the tundra.
Getting an education doesn't have to be this hard. Community College of Southern Nevada has the classes you need when you need them, and with locations all over Southern Nevada. Heck, you can even learn at home. Sign up for classes now at ccsn.edu or call 650-CCSN. Come on, the future is at CCSN. And, by the way, snow is the last thing you have to worry about.
51's Baseball and Wild Wild West with Kurt Gerheim and Tim Neverett. Weekdays at 2 on Sports Radio 1460.
Whether you're in the youth leagues or the major leagues, it still comes down to this: hitting the ball hard and scoring some runs. Sure hope you shop at Sports Chalet, because the experts at Sports Chalet have everything you need to step up to the plate with confidence, including all the best baseball gear from Rollins, from bats and batting gloves to pine tar and eye black. This is sports. This is Sports Chalet.
Last of the 6th inning, Las Vegas hanging on by a thread to a 9-8 lead over the Salt Lake Stingers. Augustine Montero came in to bail out Masao Kita in the 5th inning. Kita left after getting 1 out in the 5th. And Montero came in and gave up 3 hits and another run. But he did strand runners at second and third when Jeff Guile had a line drive back and he knocked it down. on NHL goaltender, picked it up and threw to first in the dirt, and then it was Barnes' turn to make a good play, digging the throw out. If that throw gets away, or if Montero doesn't knock that ball down, the ball's in the center field and 2 runs scored. So now in the 6th, Keith Johnson leads off, then Sean Figgins and Alfredo Amezaga. Nobody throwing in the Vegas pen. They need Montero to go at least through the 6th, maybe even deeper. There's a pop fly back a second. Thurston racing out, and it's in for a base hit. Well, Las Vegas got a lot of breaks en route to their 10-7 victory here last night. But in this game, other than a couple of bad hops on balls hit by Vegas, ever since the 3rd inning, the Stingers have had it all their way. Johnson, a little blooper, and a little Texas Lake flat that falls in between Thurston and Hermanson. It's the 4th hit off of Montero, the 13th hit for the Stingers. And here's Figgins, 2 for 3. So the tying run is aboard. Figgins has double and scored, flat out and single and scored, all against Kita. Here's the pitch. Way outside with a fastball. Ball 1, 1-0. Las Vegas 51's baseball here on Sports Radio 1460 KENO, Las Vegas. Figgins hitting .311. Johnson, not very good speed, a little below average speed. He's at first base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Way outside again. Ball 2, 2-0. Amezaga waits on deck. And Barnes standing at first base with Johnson right next to him. 2 balls and no strikes. Wherever that left-hander was in the Salt Lake pen has stopped throwing. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball high and outside, and Montero has fallen behind Sean Figgins. 3 balls and no strikes with the tying run aboard and nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Figgins standing in. There is absolutely zero chance he's swinging at this ball. The pitch way high and outside, ball 4, and that's why. So Kellner goes out to visit with Montero, who did not come close to throwing Figgins a strike. Kellner trying to settle Montero down. 2 on, nobody out. All the momentum continues to go in Salt Lake's favor, and here comes Rick Honeycutt to speak to Montero. Bell is there. Here comes Barnes, Klapinski, Kellner already there, and here comes Thurston. 2 on, nobody out for Amezaga. One of the league's top hitters. He's in the top 5, hitting .348, and he's 2 for 3 today with an RBI double, a grounder back to Kia, and he singled in the 5th off Kita and scored on the double by Quinlan. Honeycutt walking back to the third base dugout. So Johnson's at second, the tying run. Figgins at first. Montero will try to zero in on the strike zone facing Amezaga. In case of a bunt, Bell is on the grass at third. Barnes is in front of the runner Figgins at first. The stretch by Montero and the pitch to Amezaga. Instead he steps off and looks Johnson back to second. 9-8 Vegas in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 on, nobody out. Montero's pitch, he squares, and the bunt is back to Montero, who stumbles, now throws to first and gets his man. Thurston covering, takes the throw, and the sacrifice is successful, 1-4. Johnson goes to third base. The tying run and the go-ahead run Figgins is at second. 1 out for Quinlan, who is 2 for 3. He has struck out, single and scored in the 4th, and his big 2-run double up the alley in right center helped to get Salt Lake back in the game. He was the last man Kita faced. He eventually scored on the base hit by Durrington. Second and third, 1 out of the bottom of the 6th. Montero standing up straight, looking in, getting Kellner's side. Quinlan waits the pitch. Fastball is low, ball 1, 1-0. And the left-hander who was throwing earlier gets up again in the Salt Lake pen. I believe that's Rich Rodriguez. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A pop-up behind the plate. Kellner throws the mask away, waiting for it. He's got it. That's a big out for Montero to get the top RBI man in Salt Lake in this situation. That foul out is the second out of the inning, and it brings to the plate Trent Durrington. Now, this is a very big man for Montero to get, because Durrington's a cleanup man, is having a good year and a good day. He's hitting .307, and today he has singled twice in 3 at-bats. 2 singles, a stolen base, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. He was the first man Montero faced when he came in to bail out Keita in the 5th, and Durrington greeted him with a single center, knocking in Quinlan. Second and third, 2 outs. Keith Johnson at third, Sean Figgins at second. Vegas trying to hang on to this lead. The pitch to Durrington. Fastball, a check swing, tapper toward Thurston. He charges, he picks it up, throws off balance, and gets him. Good play by Thurston, and Montero works out of the 6th inning. In the 6th, no runs, 2 hits. I take that back. No runs, 1 hit plus the walk. No errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 6, Las Vegas 9, Salt Lake 8.
Budweiser True Music is music created for real music lovers by real musicians, like the Donnas.
Have band favorites that maybe aren't the most popular for some people.
They mean something else to us. So we don't put any song on the record that we don't like.
We really try hard to think of it as an album instead of let's write a single and then some other filler songs. I mean, I know everyone tries to write a great album, but I think that's really our focus. Yeah, a lot of people say it, but do they stress out about it and cry?
This moment of true music was brought to you by Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Free 51 tickets at 51 after the hour, noon to 6, plus a trip to see the Dodgers every Thursday on ESPN Radio 920.
Mama, how come I can't play baseball? Oh, honey, you're a golden crocodile. Your arms are just too short. It's not fair. I mean, where else these days can you get a sacrifice? I mean, what a game. Someone just brings you a chicken or a goat or... Arms off. That's not what they mean. Oh.
Everyone at Shark Week loves baseball and baseball fans. So bring your 51 ticket stub to Shark Week at Mandalay Bay and receive $2 off admission after 6 p.m. Offer is limited to a party of 4. Shark Week. Kill an hour or 2.
Top of the 7th inning, Las Vegas clinging to a 9-8 lead. It led 9-1 at the end of 2.5. But Salt Lake rallying against the combined efforts of Masao Keita and Augustine Montero to get 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 4 in the 5th. But Montero working out of a 2nd and 3rd one-out situation in the 6th, getting 2 tough hitters out. And so Vegas still has the 1-run lead into the 7th inning. The new pitcher for Salt Lake is the veteran southpaw Rich Rodriguez, so an excellent outing by Doug Nickel. He goes 3 1/3, gives up no runs on 3 hits. He walks 1, strikes out 2. And he, as much as anyone, is responsible for the fact that the 8-run deficit, which was in place in the 3rd inning, has been shriveled to 1. Here's Chris Klepinski. Fastball's a strike 1-1. Rodriguez, one of the oldest players in the league. He is 40 years old. He's 6 feet tall, 190. Klepinski is 2 for 3, a single, a triple, and a lineout. An RBI and a run scored. He hits a drive to left field toward the line. Here comes Johnson. He reaches up and makes the catch. Klepinski lines out to left. 1 out for Rick Bell. Rodriguez is having a good year. He's 2-0 in 20 games before today. 1 save and a 2.73 ERA. He has walked more, 12, than he has struck out, 11, in 26 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed 27 hits, 1 homer. Bell 1 for 3. He's reached on a fielder's choice and scored, single and a run and scored, and wrapped into an inning-ending 3-6-1 double play his last time up. There's a strike 0-1. Rodriguez has been pitching professionally since 1984. He's in his 20th year, and he's one of those guys where it's not a matter of where he's pitched, but where hasn't he pitched. Fastball's high to Bell, 1-1. 9-8 Vegas here in the top of the 7th inning. Ryan Kellner on deck. He's had time in the Mets organization, Padres, Florida, St. Louis, Kansas City, San Francisco. The pitch is foul back 1-2. The Mets again, Cleveland, Texas, and now the Angels. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rick Bell. Vegas gets a right-hander up in the bullpen. It looks like Scott Proctor from here. 1-2 pitch. Bell grounds it foul off the top of the third base dugout. Into the seats it goes. And a youngster in kind of a maroon-colored shirt gets that one. He's enjoying that souvenir right away. So Vegas woefully thin in the bullpen today. He gets Scott Proctor up. 1-2 pitch. Bell hits a high fly to deep left. Johnson going back. He's at the warning track. Johnson's at the base of the wall, leaps up, and Johnson cannot get it. It's just beyond the fence for a Ricky Bell home run, and Vegas has an insurance run in the 7th inning. They lead by a score of 10-8. The ball just got out. Johnson went to the wall, jumped up, and it was just beyond his grasp. Bell hits his second home run of the season. It's the second home run that Rodriguez has given up this year. And Bell, congratulated by a bunch of his teammates as he disappears inside the third base dugout. He now has 20 RBIs. Keller hits a ground ball to short. To his left is Amezga. He has it, fires to first base and gets him. 2 down. Kellner is now 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, a single and a double. And the batter's Calvin Murray, who has singled twice, walked and grounded out on a hard comebacker that Nickel made a good play on in the 5th. He has an RBI and a run scored. 10-8 Vegas. They have 16 hits. And Murray steps in. Well, that was a high soaring fly ball that just did get out. Rodriguez delivers. Fastball ground up the third base side, foul. Strike one. It's knocked down by the Vegas pitcher Mike Sape, who's protecting Coy Hill and Scott Proctor as they work together in the bullpen. 0-1 on Murray. The pitch. That's in the dirt. Ball 1. 1 ball to 1 strike. Rodriguez last year with the Texas Rangers got into 36 games out of the bullpen. And it was 3-2 with an ERA over 5. 36 games, but he only worked 16 2/3 innings. He was one of those guys who was a specialty pitcher to get left-handers out. Murray tries to hold up on a fastball and he goes around. Strike 2, 1-2. His best years, really, he had some very good years with San Diego. Maybe his best year, 1992 with the Padres. He was 6-3 in 61 games with a 2.37 ERA. 1-2 pitch to Murray. Breaking ball, a call, third strike, and the inning's over. Good pitch on the outside part of the plate toward the knees. Vegas gets a run on a home run by Rick Bell. 1 hit, no errors, no one left. Stretch time here in Salt Lake, and at the end of 6.5 innings of play, Las Vegas 10 and the Salt Lake Stingers 8.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's where you go to make your house beautiful, from top to bottom, from lighting to flooring. The Home Depot has an incredible selection of lighting options. Traditional, contemporary, and ultra-modern, all at the guaranteed low price. Look for the yellow tags and save an extra 30%. The Home Depot is also the leader when it comes to beautiful flooring for your home. Hardwoods, stunning ceramic and porcelain tile, natural stone, and every kind of carpet imaginable. And right now, get no payments and no interest until January 2004 on any flooring purchase of $299 or more. Just use your Home Depot consumer credit card and come in Saturdays at 10 a.m. for free clinics on how to install ceramic tile. So whether you're looking up at your ceiling or down at your floor, the Home Depot can help you make it beautiful. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. Subject to credit approval. Additional terms apply. Credit offer valid until July 9th. Lighting offer valid until June 30th. See store for details.
51's baseball on Papa Joe on your drive home. Sports Radio 1460.
I just got back from vacation.
Rhonda Mitchell, World Traveler.
A month-long vacation.
Rhonda Mitchell, Lucky World Traveler. Fortunately, Rhonda chose rollover minutes from Singular. For 1 year, unused anytime minutes roll over from month to month on plans starting at $39.99 a month. So now that she's back, she can use her rollover minutes to call her jealous friend.
I call it the Rhonda Mitchell I Feel Relaxed plan.
Visit Singular.com or stop by your Singular store. Singular fits you best. Some restrictions and other monthly charges apply. Service subject to credit approval. Two-year agreement required. See store for details.
Come back again, friends, to Salt Lake. Another wild one on this road trip. Vegas has won 3 of 5 on the trip, splitting 4 in Edmonton and winning here yesterday 10-7. They lead this game 10-8. The first time all year that Vegas has reached double digits in runs scored in 3 straight games. They had 15 runs the last game in Edmonton, 10 runs yesterday, and 10 runs today. The question is, will the 10 be enough? Will they be able to get more, or will they need more? Augustine Montero's finished after an inning in 2/3, gives up 1 run earned on 4 hits in his inning in 2/3. He walked 1 batter and did not record a strikeout. Scott Proctor, the new pitcher. Fastball, and Riggs swings and misses it at 0-1. So they want Proctor to go at least to the 7th. They might ask him to go 2 innings here. Vegas is just very, very, as I said before, thin in the bullpen. Steve Collier worked 2 innings yesterday, but he could pitch the 9th if needed. Here's the 0-1 to Riggs. He sends a fly ball to center. That's where Murray hangs out. He backs up a few steps, reaches up and takes it, and there is one out. Riggs is now 1 for 4. Scott Proctor, a native Floridian, who is 6'1", 198, 26 years old, from Jensen Beach, Florida, and went to Florida State. Here's Johnson. He has struck out twice, single in a run. He's 1 for 3. Proctor waiting for Johnson to get ready. 10-8 Vegas in the bottom of the 7th. Nobody on base and one out. Proctor's pitch. He swings and grounds when fouled outside third. Strike one, 0-1. Proctor is in his 10th game since coming up from AA Jacksonville. He is 1-1, got his first AAA win 2 days ago in Edmonton. He has a 3.6 ERA, 15 innings, 15 hits allowed. He's walked 8, striking out 10. The 0-1 pitch to Gary Johnson. Fastball's low. 1-1. Proctor, a starter last year, had a 3.5 ERA at Jacksonville. A losing record, but the Jacksonville team did not get a lot of runs for him. But he came up to Vegas as a starter in the playoffs. 1-1 pitch, bounces away from Kellner to the backstop, 2-1. Vegas was down 2-1 with their backs to the wall when they turned to Proctor to make the start at Edmonton, and he lost the game. He lasted 4 innings, and Vegas dropped that game, and it was a really tough way for a young pitcher to get his feet wet at AAA. 2-1 pitch, swung on a miss. He went for a high fastball, 2-2. Proctor throws a lot harder now than he did as a starter. That'll happen sometimes. You can look at a guy like Eric Gagne and see that. He throws a lot harder now than he ever did as a starting pitcher. Proctor's fastball now gets up there 93, 94, 95 miles an hour, sometimes more. 2-2 pitch. On the outside corner, strike 3 call. That's a good pitch. Just above the knees on the corner. Johnson has struck out 3 times today. He's 1 for 4. 2 outs for Barry Wesson, who has grounded out, struck out, and had an infield hit off Montero. Wesson in the box against Proctor, and Proctor kicks and delivers. Slider, a strike on the outside. Good pitch, 0-1. Boy, the sun has really come out now. Much of that cloud cover has drifted away. And it's a very pretty day in Salt Lake. The 0-1 to Wesson. Slider, he swings and misses at a high pitch. That was a shoulder-high pitch. He did some head hunting there. 0-2. Tomorrow, Game 3 will be on at 5:45 Vegas time for the pregame show. We thank Joe Thurston for joining us today on the pregame. First pitch at 6 o'clock. Lindsey Galeen will go for his 8th win. He's 7-5. He'll be opposed by righty Chris Buchek, who is 2-6. 0-2 pitch. Wesson takes a fast one up and in. It is now 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes on Barry Wesson. It's the second time Salt Lake has seen Proctor. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A line drive fouled outside first. It's still 1-2. Proctor's second appearance of the season for Vegas after putting up incredible numbers at Jacksonville, where he had an ERA of 1 throughout April and late May before he got promoted here. He pitched 2 innings against them May 29th at Cashman, allowing no runs and a hit, a walk and a couple of strikeouts. 1-2. The pitch to Wesson. Fastball up and in, and it's 2-2. Wesson facing Proctor with a 2-2 count. Bases clear. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Vegas leading by a score of 10-8. Proctor looks in. Kellner sends up a signal and sets up the target. 2-2 pitch. Fastball just inside. Oh, my goodness, that was close. It is 3-2. Kellner held it there an extra moment. And the plate ump, Frank Coughlin, said, I'm not buying it. So the count was 0-2. Now it is full. Proctor nods yes. Big leg kick and the 3-2 pitch to Wesson. A fly ball to right field. Moving over is Hermanson. He's there to get it. And Proctor works a 1-2-3 7th inning. We have completed 7 frames in Salt Lake in Game 2 of the series. Vegas 10, the Stingers 8.
Introducing Subway's new Chipotle Southwest Bacon Cheese. Chipotle Southwest Bacon Cheese. Hard to say, but if you please. Start with a C. H-I-P-O-T-M-A-L-E. Chipotle, Chipotle, Chipotle.
Head to a local Subway restaurant today and enter to win an exclusive VIP trip to L.A., courtesy of Subway restaurants and the Las Vegas 51.
Chipotle, Subway, eat fresh.
51's Baseball and Tim Truschel weekday mornings. Sports Radio 1460.
The hare boasted before the other animals. I have never been beaten, said he, when I put forth my full speed. I challenge anyone here to race with me. The tortoise said quietly, I accept your challenge. I could dance round you all the way, bragged the hare. Shall we race? The tortoise slowly replied. At once the hare darted, almost out of sight, and he easily won the race. Expecting another ending, Konica is rewriting the book on high-speed document production, distribution, and management. Konica's high-speed, high-volume solutions support your work group with unbeatable productivity and reliability. Konica's fast, durable solutions bring you up to 75 pages per minute and up to 1 million pages per month. Moral? It isn't boasting if you can deliver. It's a promise. Konica High-Speed Solutions. Experience the Konica difference.
Call Nevada Business Systems at 733-COPY.
We go to the 8th inning. Las Vegas hanging in there. They led 9-1 at one point. Salt Lake, as they so often do, because they are a good hitting team, came roaring back to cut it to 9-8, and Vegas got a little bit of a momentum shifter when Ricky Bell hit a home run off Rich Rodriguez in the 7th. Now Vegas leading 10-8. We go to the 8th. And Rodriguez will face Thurston, Crosby, and Barnes. All left-handed batters. And remember, Rodriguez's specialty is getting lefties out. Fastball to ground ball to short. Right there's Amezaga. He's got the second hop. Fires on the first base, and Thurston is out. 6-3. Thurston's now 1 for 5. One gone for Crosby, who is 2 for 3 with a 2-run home run, an RBI single. Got 3 RBIs in the day. He's also walked, and one time he got out, he lined out to short facing Nickel. So 16 hits for Vegas after he got 22 the last day in Edmonton. And then they had 11 yesterday, getting 10 more runs. Here's Crosby facing Rich Rodriguez. The windup and the pitch. Fastball is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. A right-hander gets up in the Salt Lake pen. So Proctor worked a quick, efficient 7th inning, putting a 0 up there, getting him out 1-2-3. He will be asked to pitch the 8th as well. The 9th, maybe Steve Collier. Here's the 0-1 to Crosby. He hits a bouncer over the mound, charged by Figgins. Figgins backhands. Now he can't pick it up. He tried to make a backhand stab and could only knock the ball down. And Crosby's safe at first base. And we'll wait for a ruling on that play. Figgins went toward the bag, just a couple of feet to the right of the bag. He and Amezaga are talking about the play now. And they're going to give Crosby an infield hit. That's his 3rd hit. Vegas has 17 hits, 1 on, 1 out for Barnes. Rodriguez looks at first and comes home. Barnes hits a slow tapper to the right side. First baseman Quinlan has it, lobs to first, and safe at first base is Barnes because Figgins tried to stab at the bag with his right foot and he missed it, according to first base umpire Brian Knight. And Rich Rodriguez is going to argue the play. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Vegas gets a big break there. That should have been an out somewhere. Barnes a tapper. I don't think they would have had Crosby, who has better than average speed and had a good jump on that ground ball. Quinlan knew it, so he grabbed it. He flipped it to Figgins covering. And Figgins, when he stabbed at the bag with his foot, I mean, if he did touch the bag, then Barnes is out because he did beat Barnes to the bag. But Knight is saying that he did not touch the bag. Mike Brumley, the manager, out to argue, but the argument is very brief, and he's already on his way back to the first base dugout. And the batter now is Chad Hermanson, who is 1 for 3 with a single and a walk in his last at bat. They've put a hit up on the board for Barnes. And we'll see about that. Here's the pitch. Hermanson takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So Crosby's at second, Barnes at first. And sometimes the scoreboard operator will flash something up there prematurely. I'm not sure if that's a hit or a fielder's choice. Here's the 0-1 to Hermanson. Here's a line drive in the right. That's a base hit. On one hop, Guile has it, fires it home. Crosby held up at third base, and the bases are loaded with 1 out for Chin Fang Chen. Hermanson is now 2 for 4. Nice piece of hitting. Took an outside fastball, just stroked it the other way. Well, until we hear further, we're going to assume it's an infield hit for Barnes. One of the problems Salt Lake has had today as Darrington goes to the mound, they've had some defensive troubles in the infield. In the second, a couple of plays were not made that otherwise might have been made, and then also the left fielder Gary Johnson turned the wrong way on Chen's line drive, turning it out into a double. Now 3 hits in the inning here. Crosby at third, Barnes at second, Hermanson at first. Vegas has 19 hits. And here's Chen, who has doubled and scored, grounded out sharply to first, singled to right, and hit into a 4-6-3 double play. He's hit the ball hard every time up. Brumley calls time, walking slowly to the mound with a right-hander up in the bullpen. I believe it's Bart Miotich. I don't know that Brumley wants Rodriguez to face Chen, even though Chen has not hit lefties that well this year for whatever reason. Brumley points he wants Miotich, so we have a pitching change in Salt Lake. Vegas is up in the 8th inning. With the bases loaded, 1 out, they lead 10-8, and they're looking for some more insurance. As Miotich trots in from the bullpen, we'll take a timeout. And friends, when you're looking for a break from greasy fast foods, head over to Subway and eat fresh. Back to Salt Lake with more action right after this.
The internet is not something that invades your home. It's something that you invite in and makes it your lifestyle.
With Cox high-speed internet, everything is instant on. It'll greatly help your life because you can get on and do what you want.
You've got a constant connection. You're not dialing in. You're not playing hurry up and wait.
I can certainly say that high-speed internet service has changed the way people use the internet. It is far more reliable.
You can get games. You can get music. You can watch movies. You can download movies.
With the Cox internet, it's an instant on like that. You're online, you're at the web pages.
Whatever you want, it's there. It puts the world at your fingertips.
What used to be considered fast is actually now quite slow.
We're up to 6 times faster than DSL. We're up to 60 times faster than dial-up.
You don't have to wait for email to come through. Downloads for files are most times instantaneous.
There's no such thing as living in ignorance in the age of technology. My name's Courtney Webb.
My name is John. I am Robert. We are Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
I've never seen a lineup quite like this one. The kitchen is loaded. The placemats are set. The bowls are on the table. He sees his granola crunch. He grabs the door. He swings. It's Anderson Dairy Milk all the way. Nothing makes breakfast taste better than milk. Over cereal with eggs, toast, and jam, or add some chocolate and shake things up. Here's our pitch. Milk. It's a real team player. From Anderson Dairy, the dairy experts.
Welcome back again, friends. We're here in Salt Lake, and in the top of the 8th inning, Vegas leading 10-8. They've loaded the bases on 3 singles, 2 infield singles, 1 by Crosby and Barnes. Hermanson, a base hit to the outfield, loading up the bases. Rich Rodriguez, the pitcher who gave up those 3 hits, still upset with first base umpire Brian Knight on the ball hit by Larry Barnes, where Quinlan tossed it to Figgins, and Figgins stabbed at the bag with his right foot, and Brian Knight said he missed it. Rodriguez was really arguing heatedly with Brian Knight between innings, or not between innings, but during this last commercial break, as Bart Miotich was warming up. And I think Rodriguez might have been thrown out of the game. He was really arguing. So, Miotich comes in. He's a big guy, 6'4", 200 pounds. Wearing number 24. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here is Chen. Slider for strike. That's a good pitch. 0-1. Looked like it was going to hit Chen, and the hit got the inside corner. Chen, as I said, has hit the ball hard every time up, 2 for 4, hitting .294, 8 homers, 40 RBIs. Crosby at third, Barnes at second, Hermanson at first base with 1 gone, top of the 8th. 0-1 pitch from Miotich. Slider, a strike on the outside corner. 2 good pitches. And the count 0-2. Miotich has good stuff. Sometimes he has command problems, but he's thrown 2 good pitches to Chen here. Miotich is 3-1 with a 2.54 ERA. It's his 26th game on relief. He leads the staff with 9 saves. 0-2 pitch to the backstop. Here comes Crosby. Crosby is going to score with a slide, and to third base goes Barnes. Hermanson is second. Vegas leads 11-8. Big break for Las Vegas. Miotich is strike away from taking care of Chen and getting 2 outs, and overthrew the pitch way up and in. It's a wild pitch. Scoring Crosby. It got off the mid of Darrington. It's a tough pitch to handle. It also pulls the plug on a double play chance, and the ball hit on the ground. So Vegas now leads 11-8 The count is 1-2 on Chen. Barnes at third, Hermanson at second. And Miatic having a look into Durrington again. The infield is in now for Salt Lake. 1-2 pitch. Chen swings and lifts one foul to the right. And that one is going to go hurtling back into the second deck. Hits the seat and goes back down to the lower deck. Some fans racing furiously after that ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bart Miatic out of Lake Oswego, California, was one of the top relievers at Salt Lake here last year. 14 saves and a 3.68 ERA. He also had 4 wins. Slider again to the backstop. Here comes Barnes, but now Durrington picks it up, and he's got Barnes trapped. Durrington runs him back toward third. Here comes Barnes. He's tagged out by Johnson. On the play, Hermanson takes third. There are 2 outs. The pitch got away, but it hit a portion of the backstop where it ricocheted right back to Durrington. Barnes had already committed to coming to the plate, and he was a dead duck between third and home. Durrington threw to Johnson, who threw back to Durrington, and they tag him out. On the play, Hermanson takes third on the fielder's choice. 2-5-2. Barnes is out. 2 outs. Hermanson at third. A 2-2 count on Chen. The infield is back now with 2 down. The pitch from Miatic. Slider grounded towards second. Biggins picks it up and throws to first base and gets him, and the inning is over. Well, Miatic got out of that pretty cheaply. Vegas does get 1 run out of it, though, on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Las Vegas 11, Salt Lake 8.
With us are 2 couples who have been members of the American Family Insurance family for over 20 years.
American Family Insurance.
Well, how is American Family's claim service?
We can call our agent. He responds that same day. It's unbelievable service.
Sure you don't want to sing the jingle again?
I can't sing!
All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance.
See the yellow pages or visit amfam.com for the American Family agent nearest you.
51's baseball and the Jungle. Jim Rome, weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1460.
If music was black and white, what would it sound like? Ah, but add a little color to it and... you can hear and see the difference. Now let's apply this to, say, advertising. Classified advertising. What does your ad sound like? This? Or this? See, adding a little color can make your R.J. Sun classified ad really sing out. For just a little more, we'll add some real color to your ad. You will see and hear the difference. Call 383-0383. Expect more, get more out of your classified ad.
Last of the 8th inning, Las Vegas leading 11-8. What a game. Vegas was up 9-1. The lead was whittled to 9-8, but Vegas has solo runs in the 7th and 8. A home run by Rick Bell in the 7th off reliever Rich Rodriguez, who's gone. And they picked up another run in the 8th on singles by Crosby, Barnes, and Hermanson off Rodriguez, which loaded the bases. Bart Miatic came in and threw a wild pitch to score Crosby. Scott Proctor worked a 1-2-3-7th in his first inning of work. Now in the 8th, he's got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Guile, Keith Johnson, and Sean Figgins. Pitches in the dirt, ball 1. Guile has homered, fly to left. And he grounded one. Actually, he ripped one on a line back to Kita. Back to Montero, I beg your pardon, who knocked the ball down, picked it up, and threw to first in the dirt, and Barnes dug it out. A key play in the 5th inning. 1-0 pitch. Guile takes a strike on the outside corner. It is 1-1. 5th inning, Seattle and San Diego, no score. Here's the 1-1. Guile takes a strike. It's 1-2. Angels lead the Dodgers in the 6th inning, 4-1. 8th inning, Oakland 6 and the Giants 5. Rockies beat Detroit 5-3. Cubs beat the White Sox 2-1. Kansas City tops St. Louis 5-2. 1-2 pitch is a fly ball to left center field. Chen angles over, reaches up, and he takes that one. There's 1 out in the 8th inning. Batter Keith Johnson is 1 for 3 with a looping single over Thurston's head, leading off the 6th against Montero. Minnesota beat Milwaukee 8-3. The Phillies blank the Red Sox at the vet 5-0. Cleveland topped Pittsburgh 8-5. Florida beat Tampa Bay 3-2, and Toronto topped Montreal 4-2. Baltimore knocked off Atlanta 9-3. Yankees, Mets, Astros, and Texas Rangers a little later on. Here's Keith Townsend. Fastball grounded to third base. One hop for Bell. He's got this one. Fires over to Barnes. Quickly, there are 2 outs in the Salt Lake 8th. Proctor has retired all 5, and the batter's Sean Figgins. Well, Vegas appears to have the momentum back in their direction at this point, as Figgins comes up 2 for 3 with a single and a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored. And a couple of plays, a couple of signposts along the way that have helped Vegas as they lead 11-8 here with 2 outs in the 8th. One of the biggest plays that changed things around was the play made jointly by Montero and Barnes in the 5th inning. Fastball is high ball 1 that I just described. At that point, the Stingers, who entered that inning down 9-4, scored 4 runs to make it 9-8, and with 2 outs, they had Gary Johnson at third, the tying run, and Barry Weston at second, the go-ahead run. There's a strike to Figgins, 1-1. Up came Jeff Kyle. He had a line drive that looked like it was going into center field, and if it gone into center field, the 2 runs probably would have scored. There's a fly ball to center. Murray comes in, looking up into the bright blue, makes the catch, and Proctor has gone 2 perfect innings at a time when Vegas needed him to do it the most. Anyway, Montero knocked the line drive down, threw in the dirt to Barnes, who dug it out, and that was it. That was one of the big momentum shifters in this game. 1, 2, 3 go the Stingers. We go to the 9th inning. Las Vegas 11, Salt Lake 8.
It's not a very pleasant sound to have to go through. It's pretty annoying.
Cox High-Speed Internet Service doesn't actually need to connect, so you don't ever hear that sound.
You've got a constant connection. You're not dialing in. You're not playing hurry up and wait.
Picture our internet service as a 20-lane highway with no traffic.
We're up to 6 times faster than DSL. Downloads for files are most times instantaneous. We're up to 60 times faster than dial-up. It is far more reliable.
Also, you don't have to have a second phone line.
And the tech support is only a call away.
I can certainly say that high-speed internet service has changed the way people use the internet.
Most definitely. By far, we do have the best product on the market. Call me up. I'll hook you up. I'll make you happy. I'm Mark Noble.
My name is John.
My name's Courtney Webb.
I'm Robert Rooney. We are Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications, and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
51's baseball and Tim Brando at noon weekdays on Sports Radio 1460.
Get more when you play. Get more in every way. At Barry's Nugget Casino. Can you feel it? The delectable sense of slow-roasted prime rib, seasoned to perfection. Can you taste it? Prime rib. It melts in your mouth. Tender, juicy prime rib. So satisfying. You can get it at Jerry's Nugget. Jerry's Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas 51. Jerry's Nugget Casino. It's from Cashman Field on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Welcome back to Salt Lake, my friends. Top of the 9th inning. Las Vegas and the Stingers in Game 2. Vegas won yesterday's slugfest 10-7. And they lead this slugfest 11-8. What will tomorrow bring? Stay tuned. Bart Mijatovic facing Klipinski, Bell, and Kellner. The pitch at fastball's low ball 1. Klipinski 2 for 4, a single and a triple. He's also lined out twice to center and to left. Lined out to left facing Rodriguez in the 7th. Rodriguez goes an inning and a third, and he's charged with 2 runs. And the runs are earned on 4 hits. The pitch is high to Klipinski, 2-0. He'll have a solo home run to Bell, which was another one of the things that helped Vegas get back on track in this game. Mijatovic came in with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 8th. As a slider up and away, 3-0. He threw a wild pitch with Chen at the plate on an 0-2 pitch which scored Crosby. And then he threw another pitch that got away from Durrington. But Larry Barnes coming down the line from third was caught in a rundown. Fastball's a strike, 3-1 to Klipinski. And Barnes was tagged out. Hermanson went to third on that. And Mijatovic then got Chen to ground out to finish the inning. Klipinski at 3-0-5. Here's a 3-1 pitch to him from Bart Mijatovic. Fastball in the dirt, ball 4. Klipinski a leadoff walk. And the batter will be Rick Bell. Bell is 2 for 4. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored. Single and a run scored. Grounded into a double play and then hit that home run over the fence and left against Rodriguez, his 2nd of the year. The 19 hits that Vegas has managed today represents the most hits that Salt Lake has given up in a game this year. The previous high 18. And here's Bell 2 for 4. Murray has 2 hits. Thurston has 1. The runner goes. The pitch is inside. Throw to second base is off target. And Klipinski steals second base. Some fan down below not too pleased with what has transpired here today. Hollers out, way to hold him on, Bart. Miatić did not really check Klipinski very closely. Klipinski takes advantage by stealing second. And for Klipinski, that's his 3rd steal in 4 tries this year. 1-0 pitch to Rick Bell. Breaking ball, a strike. Good pitch on the inside. It's 1-1. Ryan Kellner on deck. So Proctor has really helped the cause for Vegas today with 2 perfect innings. When the 51s needed him to be sharp, he was sharp. The pitch is outside, a slider, 2-1. And David Lee is throwing in the bullpen with Coy Hill. Collier threw 2 innings yesterday. They would rather not use him in this game. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Bell. Off second is Klipinski. And Miatić kicks and delivers. Slider is high. It is now 3-1. Iowa beat Oklahoma 2-1. 6th inning, New Orleans 4, Tacoma 3. And in the 5th inning, Memphis and Portland still no score. The other game's a little later on. 3-1 the count to Rick Bell right here. Where we're in the top of the 9th inning. Las Vegas leading 11-8 over the Stingers of Salt Lake. The pitch to Bell. He swings and misses at a hard slider. And he steps out with a full count. 3-2. Nobody out. Klipinski wanders off second base. So Green went 2 2/3. Doug Nichols 3 1/3. Rodriguez an inning in the 3rd. Pitch is lifted foul to the right, back in the upper deck. Still 3-2 on Rick Bell. Lindsey Galeen versus Chris Buchek tomorrow. Tuesday, Scott Winchester against Brandon Emmanuel. That'll do it for the road trip and for the series. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Bell. Slider, he hits it foul straight back. And it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes to Rick Bell. General Motors Trivia, who holds the all-time career record for the most Grand Slams? Who hit the most Grand Slams career? That's the question for today. General Motors Trivia. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Bell. Miatić kicks and delivers. Slider, foul back again. Same pitch, same location, same type of swing, and the same result. Been talking before about the Angels' situation with the outfield. And what they're trying to do to get around that. Dodgers have a whole different situation in their outfield. There's a 3-2 pitch. Slider lifted foul to the right, way back out of play. 3-2. Dodgers with Sean Green and Dave Roberts and Brian Jordan. They've got Jason Romano backing up there. Gerald Ward can play the outfield also, of course. They're talking about Romano's versatility before. He can play second, the outfield, third base. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Bell fouls it away behind the plate. It's still a full count to Rick Bell. 11-8 Vegas in the top of the 9th inning. If anything, Jason Romano has already proven to be a loyal teammate. I'm sure you heard the story by now that when a fan wandered onto the field, agreed left it to Brian Jordan. Romano took no chances. He tackled the man, and now Brian Jordan has a new nickname for Jason Romano. He calls him my bodyguard. Here's a 3-2 to Bell again from Bart Miatić. Here it is. Slider ground up the third base side foul. The lengthy at bat continues here. Romano, Ranger property, and traded to the Rockies in a deadline deal last year, and the Dodgers got him from Colorado for Luke Allen. Luke Allen has tremendous arm, but Allen, as great of an arm as he had and as good of a year as he had hitting last year for Vegas, was not a threat to challenge Sean Green's spot in right field. 3-2 pitch, way outside ball 4. Nice at bat for Bell. Fouling off a lot of 3-2 pitches. He draws the second walk of the inning, issued by Miatić. Out comes Rich Bombard, popping out of the dugout to speak to Miatić. 2 on, nobody out. And the batter's Ryan Kellner, who has singled and scored, doubled and scored, struck out and grounded out to short. Romano also gives Dodger manager Jim Tracy far more flexibility. Should he stick with the team? Dodgers expecting to make a run for the division title. And, of course, when center fielder Dave Roberts was hurt, Romano got one start on the leadoff spot. He was 0 for 5, but such an opportunity is a reason why he will not complain if he doesn't sign any long-term leases this season. And Romano has talked about this. He says, look, I've been used to being an everyday player, and last year I was thrown into the utility role, and after playing every day for 6 years, it's really different. He's not real thrilled with the utility role, but it is getting him a big league paycheck for now. And looking for the bunt from Kellner, he squares and gets the bunt down foul outside third. Strike one. Keith Johnson picked it up. He's the third baseman. He's in tight. And Quinlan in tight at first base. 0-1 on Kellner. Biadic walking around off the perimeter of the round. Now goes up top again. 0-1 the count on Kellner, who looks and studies John Shoemaker's signs. Lee has stopped throwing in the Vegas bullpen. Quinlan on the grass at first. Johnson the same way at third. Lipinski is at second. Bell is at first with nobody out. The stretch by Miadic. Kellner squares around, and the pitch is bunted foul again outside third. That's a slider that he bunted foul. 0-2 on Kellner, who kicks to the dirt with the right foot, since he did not get that bunt down. 0-2. Kellner checks John Shoemaker again. 11-8 Vegas in the top of the ninth inning. 2 on, nobody out. Calvin Murray is on deck. Miadic squints into Durrington. Looks back at Kolpinski, and the big righty's 0-2 pitch. Slider, he grounds one up the first base side, gloved by Quinlan, who steps on first and has no further play. That's a good job by Kellner. He will get charged with an at-bat because he took a full swing. He actually threw the bat at the ball. The pitch was pretty far outside, but the net effect is the same as if he had gotten the bunt down. He just gave himself up for the good of the team, and that's he gets a high five from Rick Honeycutt as he enters the dugout. That's a good job there by Kellner. Lipinski takes third. Bell takes second. Kellner 2 for 5. And here's Murray with the infield in. Murray takes one low, ball one. Murray 2 for 4, 2 singles, an RBI and a run scored. He's also walked, and he struck out looking, facing Rodriguez in the 7th, his last time up. Now he faces Miadic. The 1-0 pitch from the tall right-hander. Fastball is just outside. Good-looking pitch. Ball 2. 2-0 to Murray. Joe Thurston on deck. Now in the Vegas bullpen, David Lee, who had stopped throwing, is throwing again. 2-0. Miadic kicks and fires. Slider a strike. It's 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to Calvin Murray. His average stands at 265. Kolpinski off third. Bell off second with the infield in tight. Slider lifted high and foul to the right, way back beyond the roof and out of play. It's now even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Murray steps out, takes a deep breath, looks out at Miadic, who rubs up a new ball. Now Murray climbs back into the batter's box. Dallas, Texas native, works that black bat up and back. Up and back. 2-2 pitch from Miadic. Slider, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Murray, frustrated, swipes at the ground with his bat and walks away. That pitch was way outside the zone, and Miadic got him to chase it. So Murray's now 2 for 5 today. First strikeout from Miadic, and it brings up Joe Thurston. Thurston is 1 for 5 with a 2-run double back in the Vegas 6-run second. He grounded out to short, facing Rodriguez in the 8th in his last at bat. So the Vegas 51s at first and second, nobody out. Second and third and 1 out. Now second and third and 2 outs. Here is Thurston hitting 273. The pitch. Slider, a swing and a miss. He was out in front. 0-1. When Salt Lake bats in the 9th, they'll have a Meziga, Quinlan, and Durrington, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. 0-1 on Thurston. Miadic gets set, and a strike 1 pitch. Fastball high and outside. Ball 1. 1-1. Vegas leading 11-8 with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Kolpinski, a short lead off third base. Bell away from second. Both set to go on any kind of contact now with 2 outs. And the 1-1 from Miadic. Here it is. That's in the dirt, getting away from Durrington to the first base dugout. Lipinski scores. Bell to third, and Vegas now leads 12-8 on the second wild pitch by Miotich in as many innings. The count to Thurston is 2-1. Looked like a slider down and in, and it bounced away from Durrington all the way to the first base dugout. Lipinski scores easily, and Bell gets over to third base. Vegas now has a 12-8 lead. It was 9-8, and it's back up to a 4-run cushion. And Thurston will try to pick up Bell now. 2 balls and a strike. Miotich is ready, and the pitch to Thurston. Here it is. Slider, a ground ball to second. Right there to get it is Figgins. He straightens and throws and gets him, and the inning is over. Vegas in the ninth inning gets a run without a base hit. 1 run on a couple of walks, a stolen base, and a wild pitch after the advancing ground out by Kellner, which turned out to be a big play in the inning. 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth inning. The score, Las Vegas 12 and the Salt Lake Stingers 8.
Dave, is that the $6 burger you got going there?
Yeah, from Carl's Jr.
Sweet. What's up? What's that green stuff, man?
Guacamole.
Oh, guacamole. All right.
Yeah, it's the guacamole bacon $6 burger.
Cool, man. So right now you're taking a little guac on the wild side.
What?
Are you eating that thing like in a block, stock, and barrel? And guac on, Dave, guac on,
Oh, okay, I get it. Guacamole. Funny word.
It is.
Okay, let's acknowledge and move on.
Hey,
okay.
acknowledge.
Thank you.
Done. Holy moly, guacamole.
Ed.
Dude, is this like burger totally guac in your world or what?
Ed.
All right, really quick. What do you say to a duck when you give him guacamole?
I don't. Ed, stop. Okay, you're bugging me, all right? I'm just trying to eat my burger.
Have a lunch.
Thank you.
Go.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
All right. So what you're saying is you want me to guac it on?
Oh, man.
What's that? Introducing the guacamole bacon $6 burger at Carl's Jr. The only restaurant-style burger available at a fast food place. For a limited time only, price and participation may vary.
Is it time for a change in servicing your car? Are you tired of getting the runaround from other service outlets? Take your GM vehicle to an expert, Wharton Buick. For more than 40 years, Wharton Buick has been big enough to serve you, yet small enough to know you. Featuring GM-certified technicians, advanced diagnostic equipment, and genuine GM parts. When it comes to keeping you on the road, Wharton Buick knows your vehicle better than anyone else does. Conveniently located at 3025 East Sahara in Las Vegas. Stop by and see for yourself why Wharton Buick has been a Las Vegas institution since 1961.
Bottom of the ninth inning. Las Vegas leading by a score of 12-8 over the Salt Lake Stingers. Vegas offense been a little bit inconsistent at various times this year, but last few days they've had it going. And David Lee is going to come in and try for the save right now. It's Scott Proctor, an outstanding effort, 2 perfect innings, striking out 1. When the 51s needed him desperately to be effective, he was. And now he gets the ball into the hands of David Lee. Even though Steve Collier did not pitch once in the Edmonton series, he did pitch 2 innings last night to get the save. So they're going to give David Lee a chance to close this one. Because it's a 4-run lead with nobody on base, it's not a save situation for Lee. And Lee will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters beginning with Alfredo Amezaga. It's one of the league's top hitters. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that's a strike, 0-1. Amezaga entered the game, the 3rd leading hitter in the league at 344. He's lifted his average up 4 points to 348. Because he's 2 for 3 with a single and a double, an RBI, a run scored. He laid on a sacrifice bunt in the 6th his last time up. The pitch. Up and away, 1-1. One of the other big situations in this game, and Augustine Montero deserves a lot of credit for this, in the 6th. The Stingers had runners at 2nd and 3rd, and only 1 out, and the heart of the order up as a fly ball to left center field. Chen and Murray. Chen wants it. He's got it, and there is 1 out. And Rob Quinlan will come up. This is when Vegas was only up by 1 run, 9-8. And Montero got Rob Quinlan, number 3 hitter and the top RBI man in the Salt Lake order, to foul out to Kellner. And then he got Durrington on a check swing ground ball to Thurston, and Thurston made a good play to get him, charging the ball and making the play. David Lee, 2-1 with 5 saves and a 2.36 ERA. His 29th game all in relief. The league is only hitting 180 against him. And the pitch is a slider, little high ball 1. Quinlan 2 for 4. Be a single and double, driven in 2 runs, scored twice, and he's the one who fouled out to Kellner against Montero in the 6th. 1-0. Lee winds and delivers. Fastball's high ball 2, 2-0. David Lee, proud of his Pittsburgh roots. And former Rocky. He pitched well for the Rockies in the big leagues. Here's the 2-0. That one is low. It's now 3-0 to Quinlan with Trent Durrington on deck. 12 runs, 19 hits, 1 error for Vegas. And the Stingers 8 runs on 13 hits, and they have committed 1 error. Here's the 3-0 to Quinlan. Lee delivers. There's the strike he was taking all the way, as you might expect. With the team down by 4 runs in the 9th inning and 1 out, it's now 3-1. Lee pitched twice in Edmonton, which is where he spent all of last year, going 9-1 for the PCL champs. Ground ball to the right side. Barnes picks it up, spins, and throws to Lee, covering at the bag. He's out. Good play by Barnes, and a good play by Lee to hustle over there and take a high throw. 2 down. Barnes is awfully good over there. And here's Durrington, the last hope for Salt Lake. Durrington 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a stolen base, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. He hit that check swing grounder to Thurston to finish up the 6th. His last time up. Last time Lee took the mound was one of the few poor outings he's had this year. One of the only ones. He was called upon to hold a 2-1 lead in Edmonton in the 8th inning. Ground ball to third, 2 hops. Bad hop. Pass Bell into left field. Well, chalk up another bad hop. And at least 2 on each side here for a total of 4 today. Bell had no chance. That ball came way up chest high. And otherwise, the game would be over right now. Here's Adam Riggs. Another bad hop single. I can't think of one bad hop yesterday, but at least 4 in this game. Here's Riggs. 1 for 4. He had a bad hop single past Thurston that drove in a run in the 4th inning. He flied out to center against Proctor his last time up, and the pitch is a strike, 0-1. Lee allowed 3 runs earned on 4 hits that game against Edmonton 3 days ago. Vegas lost it 4-2. Lee's only loss of the year. His ERA jumped nearly half a run. In fact, more than half a run because of that. It was 1.62. Fastball is inside 1-1. Well, Lee has been as effective as any right-handed reliever you can name in this league. 1 ball and 1 strike. Riggs waiting in the pitch. As a slow ground ball to short, charge by Klipinski. He handles the hop, fires to first base, and gets him. And this game is over. Vegas prevails by a score of 12-8, holding off Salt Lake as the bullpen and the defense come through for them big late, and the offense scratches for some insurance runs. No runs to hit, no errors, 1 left for Salt Lake. Vegas wins it by a score of 12-8, and I'll be back with the totals in this ball game coming up in just a moment.
Buying or selling a home can be as stressful as making it as a major league ball player.
Strike 3, you're out.
There are enough real estate curveballs to exasperate even the best hitter. Between getting a mortgage, finding the right house, and making the right bid, it's like trying to hit a wicked 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Century 21 has a game plan to help you reduce your worrying. With 23 offices in the Las Vegas area, they have all your bases covered. Their experienced agents pledge to help you locate the right property for your specific needs. Century 21 is also offering you the chance to win $250,000 toward the purchase of a new home. All you have to do is log on to Century21.com or stop by your local Century 21 office. You'll automatically be entered in the Century 21 Home Run Derby. It's a grand slam. Century 21, always trying to make your life as stress-free as possible, even when it comes to contests. Century 21, official real estate organization for Major League Baseball.
51's Baseball on Wild Wild West with Kurt Gerheim and Tim Neverett. Weekdays at 2 on Sports Radio 1460.
I'm Linda Cohn, Sports Center anchor and ESPN Zone's Quality Control Inspector. That's right, ESPN Zone undergoes my rigorous 16-point inspection process, making it a place where fans come in week after week, game after game. There's the Linda Cohn Taste Test, where our famous American grill is tasted by yours truly. ESPN Zone's ribs. I'm thinking they could use a little more of our original sauce.
But Linda, that's your second helping. Linda?
ESPN Zone, a taste of ESPN.
Welcome back, friends, to Salt Lake City. Las Vegas has now won 4 of 6 in this road trip, and they've won 3 in a row on the road as they knock off Salt Lake, and they hand Salt Lake in the process another loss. Salt Lake has now dropped 6 straight games. For Las Vegas to win and lift their record to 47-30. 12 runs on 19 hits and 1 error, leaving 8 men on base. the most hits that Salt Lake has given up in a game this year. Salt Lake now 35 and 42, 8 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. They left 6 on base. The winning pitcher, Augustin Montero. Montero gets the victory. That's his first at the AAA level. He's now 1-0, no save. The loss goes to Steve Green, who's now 6-3 and is now 3-1 against Vegas this year. Home runs, Bubba Crosby, a 2-run home run in the second off starter and loser Steve Green for Crosby. That was his 7th of the year. And Vegas also had a solo home run by Rick Bell off Rich Rodriguez in the 7th. That was his 2nd of the year. The Salt Lake Stingers had a solo home run by Jeff Guile leading up the 3rd off Masao Kita. And for Jeff Guile, that home run was his 7th of the season. A crowd of 4,405 paid to see it. The game took 2 hours and 55 minutes to complete. On the post-game show, we'll check this game and the scores in the Major League and the Pacific Coast League. That's all coming up right after this.
It's not a very pleasant sound to have to go through. It's pretty annoying.
Cox IQ Internet Service doesn't actually need to connect, so you don't ever hear that sound.
You've got a constant connection. You're not dialing in. You're not playing hurry up and wait.
Picture our internet service as a 20-lane highway with no traffic.
We're up to 6 times faster than DSL. Downloads for files are most times instantaneous. We're up to 60 times faster than dial-up. It is far more reliable.
Also, you don't have to have a second phone line.
And the tech support is only a call away.
I can certainly say that high-speed internet service has changed the way people use the internet.
Most definitely. By far, we do have the best product on the market. Call me up. I'll hook you up. I'll make you happy. I'm Mark Noble.
My name is John.
My name's Courtney Webb.
I am Robert Rooney. We are Cox Communications, your friends in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
It's baseball season again, so isn't it time you headed home? KB Home has over 30 beautiful communities in Las Vegas where you can choose your own home site, spacious floor plan, and thousands of customizing options to help make it feel like yours the day you move in. Of course, you also get a really great price. Log on to kbhome.com or call 1-888-KB-HOMES for more details. That's 1-888-KB-HOMES. It's the smartest play you'll make all season.
Welcome back again, my friends. We're here in Salt Lake City. Las Vegas wins again another high-scoring affair here in Salt Lake as they prevail by a score of 12-8 on a day when the bullpen was pretty thin, but they came up big when they had to, and they held off the Stingers, a very good hitting team in their own right. The Stingers got the first run in the bottom of the first off Masao Kita on back-to-back doubles by Sean Figgins and Alfredo Amezaga to make it 1-0 Stingers after one, but Vegas had one of its biggest innings in a while. Well, aside from that 10-run inning in Edmonton, of course, they scored 6 in the second off Steve Green as they sent 10 men to the plate. Chen doubled, Kopinski singled it in, Rick Bell reached on a fielder's choice, and then Ryan Kellner had an infield hit on a hit-and-run play. Calvin Murray singled, that scored Bell, and Joe Thurston doubled up the gap in right center, scoring Kellner and Murray. Up came Bubba Crosby. The count went to 3-1. Boom, a long home run over the fence and right, and Vegas was off and running, leading 6-1 at the end of 2. In the third, Vegas made it 9-1 with 3 more runs, knocking Green out of the game. Kopinski tripled, Bell singling in. Then Kellner had a bad hop doubled on the third baseline, one of several bad hops in the infield today. And then, after a walk to Murray that loaded up the bases, Thurston's double play ground ball scored Bell, and Crosby single to center scored Kellner. That was all for Green. Doug Nickel came in and got out of the third inning, but by then, Vegas led 9-1. But the Stingers began to chip away. They got 1 in the third off Kita on a home run by Guile. At the end of 3, Vegas led 9-2. They got 2 more in the fourth inning on an RBI single by Riggs and a wild pitch scoring Trent Durrington. At the end of 4, Vegas led 9-4. In the fifth inning, the Stingers got 4 to really make it close, closing the gap to 9-8. And it was a 2-run double by Quinlan, driving in Figgins and Amezaga, each of whom had singled with 1 out. That was all for Kita, who ran out of gas. Montero came in on an RBI single to Quinlan, and rather to Durrington. Quinlan scored on that, and Durrington stole second. Riggs popped out, but Gary Johnson singled to score Durrington, making it 9-8. Weston had an infield hit, and that put runners at first and third. Weston stole second, and there were runners at second and third, and one of the big plays in the game occurred then. Jeff Guile had a line drive that looked like it was going into center field, but Montero reached up and knocked the ball down, scrambled after it in front of the mound, picked it up and threw in the dirt to Barnes, who dug it out. A good play by Montero, and an equally good play by Barnes, which saved the tying and go-ahead runs from scoring, and Vegas, by a thread, was ahead 9-8 at the end of 5. In the sixth inning, another momentum changer in the favor of Las Vegas, courtesy of Augustine Montero. 2 on, nobody out. Amezga dropped the sacrifice bunt down to move Keith Johnson to third and Sean Higgins to second. So the Stingers had the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second with 1 out. Rob Quinlan, the top RBI man, already 2 for 3 in the day, came up, and Montero got him to foul out to his catcher, Ryan Kellner, for the second out. Then Trent Durrington checked his swing and bounced one slowly toward Thurston, who charged it, picked it up, and threw off balance to get him a big play. And the Vegas 51s go on to win as Scott Proctor with 2 perfect innings of relief, and David Lee nailed it down in the 9th inning as Vegas held off Salt Lake after that. Meanwhile, Vegas got some insurance in the form of a Ricky Bell solo homer off Rich Rodriguez in the 7th inning. Singles by Crosby, Barnes, and Hermanson, plus a wild pitch scoring Crosby. Got another run in the 8th inning, and with Bart Miatas pitching, Vegas manufactured a run in the 9th without a base hit. A walk to Klipinski, he stole second. A walk to Bell. Kellner's ground out got Klipinski to third. He scored on a wild pitch, and Vegas goes on to win by a score of 12-8. Elsewhere in the PCL, Memphis and Portland, no score in the 5th. 6th inning, New Orleans 4, Tacoma 3. Iowa knocked off Oklahoma earlier 2-1. Later games, Colorado Springs, Nashville, Edmonton, Albuquerque, Omaha, Sacramento, and Fresno and Tucson. If Omaha beats Sacramento, Vegas is back to within a game and a half of the River Cats. And otherwise, they'll stay 2.5 back if Sacramento wins that game. In the big leagues, 2 late games, Yankees and Mets, Houston and Texas. Other games in the 5th inning, Seattle, San Diego, no score in the 5th. Angels 4, Dodgers 1 in the Freeway Series in the 6th. 8th inning, Oakland 6 and the Giants 5. The other games are final. Rockies beat Detroit 5-3. Cubs beat the White Sox 2-1. Kansas City topped St. Louis 5-2. It was Minnesota 8, Milwaukee 3. Philadelphia blanked Boston at the Vet 5-0. It was Cleveland 8, Pittsburgh 5. The Marlins beat Tampa Bay 3-2. Toronto knocked off Montreal 4-2, and Baltimore beat Atlanta by a score of 9-3. Tomorrow, Game 3 of this series will be on at 5:45. Vegas will try for its 4th straight win on this road trip, and they'll try to make it 5 wins in 7 games on the trip as they send lefty Lindsey Galeen, who's 7-5. He was hit hard on his last start at Edmonton after throwing a no-hitter against Tacoma before that. Gets ready Chris Buchek, who is 2-6, but has pitched well against Las Vegas so far this year. We invite you to join us then, certainly, as Las Vegas 51s baseball continues throughout this exciting 2003 campaign. I want to give thanks to Steve-O, our studio engineer, and producing Las Vegas 51s games today back at the KNO studios, and thanks to all of you, of course, very sincerely for tuning to Las Vegas 51s baseball this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed it, folks. Until tomorrow, this is Russ Langer wishing all a very fine afternoon from Salt Lake City, where today the Las Vegas 51s beat the Stingers 12-8. So long.
You've been listening to Las Vegas 51s baseball on Sports Radio 1460. Tomorrow's Dodgers are your Las Vegas 51. 51s baseball has been brought to you in part by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Southwest Airlines, and by Cox Communications. Thanks for joining us. And now, stay tuned for great sports talk on Sports Radio 1460.